is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Water.
For the first time here for season 3. Davis on pole, Vandergren in second. It's going to be sprint round action here tonight. Let's go racing here at Daytona. It was a good start there from Davis in comparison to Vandergren in behind. Cowan's absolutely bogged it up and already dropped out of the top 3 here as they come down towards turn 1 for the first time. There's biffing and barging between Gallen and Cowan. These guys are still going at it after last season. They survived for this time by though. Through turn 2 and 3 they come. Nice and clean, boys. Keep it up as they come up to...
I love riding. It's a real social thing. There's a great bond between riders.
Every weekend I look forward to getting out there. It's a freedom like no other.
Riding to work is a great way to start the day.
Shannons insure all types of road bikes, not just classics. They offer features riders really want. It's why they're one of Australia's leading motorcycle insurance providers.
Whatever you ride, whatever you ride,
Whatever you ride.
ride with Shannons.
Call 134646 for a quote.
Through turn 1, it was a horrible start from De Bono, who's absolutely bogged it up and gets eaten alive by Dixon and Gowans as they come on through. Through turn 1 they come, and they all spread out around in towards the first sector of the Silverstone circuit. They look all right at the moment. Okay, there's already been a car spun round. That's Jordan Ferguson offline.
Is green at Road Atlanta here as well. Faulkner did get away. De Bono is tucked in as well. Unfortunately, Houghton is on that outside line. De Bono does want to turn it to 2. He's got the job. De Bono's overtaken. Now can he get Ben Faulkner up through turns 2 and 3? They go round the right-hander, dropping down the hill. Faulkner's out in front. De Bono second. Houghton third. Ratcliffe in fourth. No real dramas going into turn 1.
We've always had a few cars. They're all special. The T-Bird.
Oh, that's mine.
The Combi for when we want to get away. The XR8.
It's going to be a classic.
They're all insured with Shannons,
We've also got Shannon's home and contents cover.
which helps protect our automotive collectibles, tools and memorabilia in the home and garage. If you're motoring enthusiasts like us, it's got to be.
Shannon's.
Shannons, insurance for motoring enthusiasts. Call 134646 for a quote.
This is amazing. I was clash heads again. This is like Chaz Moskin and Cam Waters. Almost the same situation. Better contact going down to the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble's bottle right now because tell you what, Bruce Tanek and Jamie Dyson just absolutely drove away from us. Hayden trying to go around the outside. This is where he could have just sent it up the inside, but he hasn't implemented it, which is fair enough. It's very scary out there, ladies and gentlemen. Now let's see if we get a good run. Dodd's just absolute thinker, but it is a really nice move. Blake Delaney had to move out of the way.
Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome back to SRW TV, and welcome into round 10 of season 1 of the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship here at Bathurst this evening, Mount Panorama here in New South Wales, Australia, for our first endurance round of the season. 80 minutes of racing plus the top 10 shootout and qualifying to come your way very, very shortly. I'm your commentator Hamish Munro, joined once again by Steve Sinkovic alongside Sinker. It's a long night on the broadcast for us here. We got qualifying coming up straight after practice, and then we're into the top 10 shootout and then into the 80-minute race. And it's going to be a big test for these drivers. Of course, Bathurst is known for a multitude of endurance racing across the year, including the Bathurst 12-hour, the Bathurst 6-hour, and the Bathurst 1000 as well. And tonight, it's SRW's turn to go racing around here for an extended period of time.
It's going to be a pearler, mate. Bathurst always puts up a good show, and especially the caliber drivers that are out here tonight. It's going to be spectacular. And all in one big hit, top 10, Enduro. We're in for a hell of a night.
Yeah, it's going to be a massive test for these drivers, as it normally poses to them on the Sunday series for the endurance racing. Bathurst, it's notable for offering up a big challenge as well, keeping the car clean, not only for one lap of 6.2 Ks around here, but for 80 minutes of racing, where we could possibly see upwards of 40 laps completed in this race. That's going to be a test for them, or around about 40 laps, I should say. That's going to be, I think that's going to be the real test, is keeping it clean for those 40 laps. Excuse me. And if we were to get a safety car within all of that as well, and how that can shake things up, how it may shake up the strategy of the drivers and the strategy of how they approach the next part of the race. Undoubtedly, we're going to get the point where we're trying to just make it to the next part, of course, that sort of middle half an hour of the race. But during that middle half an hour or 40 minutes, that's going to be the toughest part for the drivers, because that's where they've got to try and keep their minds and themselves cool, calm and collected, and just pushing on forward and trying to cut clean, consistent laps. That's the most likely time, I think, aside from maybe the first couple of laps, Sinker, that we're going to see the safety car called.
Yeah, it's going to be when we're all closest. They'll start to spread out after a while. There'll be battle packs up and down the field as usual. And when that safety car does get called, all plans go out the window, and it's start from scratch again. Yeah,
pretty much. It resets everything that we would have known up to that point of the race. Though we've got about just over 5 minutes left in practice. Sorry, for the drivers at the moment. The pace has been set early by a couple of drivers, including James Scott and Blake Warboys. James has set a 2:06.18 here in practice, with Warboys at a 2:06.42. So a bit of time to be found to challenge Scott at the front. Mueller, though, has got some mega pace at the moment in P3 at 2:06.51, so he's knocking on the door of Warboys. Stone Street with a 2:06.82. Dodsey not into the sixes just yet. He's at a 2:07. But what I think, I don't know if we're going to see sixes in the shootout necessarily, Sinker, because obviously it's one lap. It'll be dictated by how well the drivers go before you. I don't think, though, all 10 drivers get a lap in. I think at least one driver's going to make a mistake in the shootout, and that's going to cost them.
Well, it's a tough shootout, isn't it? It's a long, long race, and the slightest touch of the wall, wherever it is, on the top of the mountain, bottom of the mountain, could cost you that time, and off you go. So it's going to be a little bit, I'd say some of these boys will be erring on a bit of conservancy just to make sure they get a clean lap in. And then from there onwards it goes. But, you know, anything can happen here. We could see James Scott tap the wall. We could see Warboys tap the wall. And then it spins it right around. And someone who you don't expect to be near the front is at the front. And they can get away with it for a while.
So we'll see how cookie cutter this race might be. Is it James Scott's to lose? Well, based on pace alone, it is. Based on his performance on Tuesday night, it is as well. But if he can, if he makes a single mistake and the likes of Warboys and Mueller can take advantage, well, all of a sudden the race is on for them. So, practice, as important as it is, what's really going to come down to it, I think, is qualifying and how well you can qualify in this race. There is that X factor of chaos throughout the race as well, so qualifying maybe not as important as other circuits, such as Barber this previous Tuesday night, or Winton in the last round of the a couple of rounds ago in the Sunday series as well. But I think, if you're one of those drivers that can't make qualifying, you're at the back of the field, it's not over from the start for you, Sinko, because there's a long race, a lot of racing to happen, a lot of laps to happen. If you can keep it clean across the 40 laps, you could be in with a good shout for a top 10.
Yeah, it's definitely the case. You can make it from the back of the pack. You're just going to be smart and stay clean, really, to be honest with you. There'll be a lot of latecomers tonight because a lot of people can't make the top 10 shootout. So we'll see the grid fill up as we go. But I'll tell you what, watching Billy Mole on screen here, I was just about... What is it with me in these last few weeks? Every time I mention someone on screen, they have an off or a wall. Even when I picked the drivers for the second cam, it's been happening. Unreal. Billy Mole was looking really sharp and very aggressive on those turns up there, so doing really well. He's a little bit off the pace. Not a hell of a lot, but he is off. The top four are all sitting in the 206s, so I expect him to be there and thereabouts once the race starts. But he's got the pace. We know he's going to be there around Ryan Mueller. Ryan Mueller and Stone Street are probably going to be buddies all the way through with Harry Dodds.
Yeah, I think they're all going to be, holding hands and singing Kumbaya as they rocket around the circuit. It's whether one of them gets drunk enough to fall off one of the logs that they're sitting on. I think that's the key to this campfire story.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
But that's where you got to think about. Well, if we're singing the campfire song, how long can they last around the campfire before someone pulls the Irish goodbye and goes to bed? So hopefully they can keep it clean up the front in this race. Hopefully we get clean running at the start of the race as well. Likelihoods of safety cars, well, it's always an X factor at Bathurst. It takes even just the most minute of mistakes. You could be a millimetre away from where you need to be entering a corner on the exit of the corner, and it could be day done for you. You can end up in the wall with your car very, very broken. So, we can't really pick how many safety cars there's going to be. It's going to come down to how the race feels whilst we're in it. It's going to come down to, well, how are we pushing our way forward? And I've got to add Anthony Risman to my list. How are we progressing? How, we'll call it feisty, Sinker, is the field at the moment. And that, I think, will really dictate how many safety cars we have. If they come out all guns blazing and running around like headless chooks, well, then we're likely going to have a multitude of safety cars. Or if they come out more conservative at the start, then we're more likely probably not going to get a safety car throughout the race.
Yeah, look, it's an enduro. I can't see them going too crazy too early. They'll take it easy, but they'll be close and tight and pushing it for each other to make an error more than anything. So it's going to be good. Or some of these guys might have a mindset, just take it as a sprint and just go hell for leather for the whole thing. They might do.
They might think about the fact, well, it's an enduro, but it's an 80-minute enduro, so
yeah,
it's only 20 minutes longer than the longest regular race we do all season of 60 minutes. So there is still that sort of sprint mentality about it, possibly as well. The difference is how well you plan your strategy, and if you've planned for safety cars, well, that's always a gamble. If you haven't planned for safety cars, that's probably the easiest way you can do it, because you can always plan around it if safety cars are called. You can't quite plan around green running if your initial strategy is based on, will we get a safety car or won't we get a safety car?
Yeah, I'd be driving. If that comes across, it's just a bit of cream, bit of extra strategy that you can take care of. But how good do these cars look and sound on this mountain? It is spectacular.
Well, Blake Wallboys has done something. Well, Blake Wallboys has done something absolutely spectacular. He's just pipped James Scott for the top of the timesheets here in practice with a 206.065 if we go to the 1000th there for Blake Wallboys. James Scott's going to come across the line in his final lap of practice. He goes top with a 205.49. So, Wallboys does one, and then James is like, who do you think you are? Excuse me.
They're throwing the gauntlet at each other, man. That's what they're doing. I'll take you on 5 paces. Name your weapon. Gun, knife, sword. We'll just go with a V8.
Which one would be more akin to being Inigo Montoya in this scenario, Cinco? Who would it be? Would it be Blake or James who would hit the "My name is Inigo Montoya. You killed my father. Prepare to die" when cutting laps? You know.
I'd say War Boys would be the movie buff first.
Yeah, probably, most likely. I could picture him looking like Mandy Patinkin with a long hair and a moustache. So.
Yeah. As practice just ends, woohoo! Here we go. We're warming up.
So
get ready in your seats, crack a can, popcorn, whatever you need, and sit back because we're going to watch qualifying and then for a top 10 shootout.
So qualifying about to get underway for these drivers. 15 minutes for them to start and end a lap. And Jamie Davis is looking to head straight out of pit lane and get a time in straight away. His teammate Harry Dodds is already heading up Mountain Straight as well. So they'll be hoping to push their way forward as fast as they can. I do need to confirm, Sinker, have you added your second camera to the Ninja? You have indeed. Very good, very nice. Although in saying that, we'll need you to add it again when we change service for the shootout.
Oh, we definitely will, yeah.
Yeah.
And then again for the race.
Yeah, exactly.
Which will be entertaining. But the boys are looking pretty sharp out there. Mr. Jace Douglas, just seeing him flying up the mountain. Hopefully he stays off the walls and has a good night.
Hopefully his race goes better than last time we were at Bathurst, where he was getting in all sorts of hairy scenarios into the chase. So hopefully he can keep himself regular out there. There he is, Mr. Douglas, as he runs around on the circuit, stoic-faced as ever. Could not expect anything less from him. Andrew Cowan's out there with us too. He's also got his virtual camera up for us to track along with some of the telemetry. Look at that. He's finally got the motion fixed, Sinker. He's finally got that fixed up.
Yeah, now he just needs to sync it with his camera.
Yeah, he needs to put a gyro on there.
Yeah.
So those are the drivers who've shared their cameras with us thus far. We'll see if we get any more before the race begins. Warboys may decide to add his before race start as well here tonight. So we'll see how they progress on. And once again, we've also got the second screen happening too to keep an eye on other battles throughout the field as well. A couple of chats out there with us. Ray Douglas is with us, as well as Lee Mueller. Great to have you out there. K&H Motorsport giving the love for Billy Mole. And Steph Piccoli as well out there giving the love to Mick Clifton too. So great to have you all joining us once again.
More importantly, giving us love. Thank you, Steph.
Yep, thank you very much. we're definitely the ones that deserve it, Sinker. No one else in the field deserves it, do they?
Well, you know, we are the entertainment between the paws.
Yeah, true.
The pause being the bits where the drivers sort of expand and get off the back of each other, and it sort of just fizzles out a little bit. We'll get that probably around the 25-minute mark, just before the pits.
Depending how chaotic it may come maybe at the 20-minute mark if anyone decides to come in early. That's literally just through natural progression of the lap times, because of the spread of lap times in the field. That's what more or less pushes the battle packs out a little bit. Plus, also as people battle, they'll naturally lose pace to the cars ahead of them as well, because they're not running those premium lap attacks that you would in qualifying, for example. I look forward to seeing how Blake Warboys does, of course, championship leader at the moment, and if he can continue his raging forward to a championship next to his name once again. Jack Andrews not in the field tonight, so the main challenger to his crown is not out there. We mentioned to him last time on Track Sinker 2 weeks ago.
We've got a car rotating around at the very top of the mountain.
Is that Harry Dodds? It's Doddsy. It's Doddsy up at Skyline, so you'll have to top back and get going again.
That'll cost him some time. He's also made contact with another driver as he was spinning wildly then. But I'm not sure how it's affected anyone else there. Ryan Mueller's hitting purple sector after purple sector after purple sector, but someone out there is beating his purple sector every single time.
I would argue it may be Blake Warboys.
Yes.
Quite possibly.
But if you get a grip of Harry's spin, I'm not sure who he hit. He hit someone just at the bus stop, we'll call it. What's that called? It's not called the bus, like Skyline.
For Skyline and then running down through the S's.
No, what's that bit just there that we just saw him spin?
Park.
McPhillamy Park, that's it. He did a massive spin there, good 360 into the wall. Stone Street's just got the second last sector purple as well. So we've got we've got 6 sectors tonight.
As Mueller crosses the line, provisional pole position. First lap times coming in now. Billy Mole crosses, goes P2. Jamie Davis yet to set a time. Troy Stonestreet goes P3. Visma P4. But the times are going to be coming in quick and fast. Let's have a quick gander at what happened to Dodsey up at the top of the hill just a moment ago. So he caught the curb on the outside of the track, and then it just drilled him straight in the wall. That was Jace Douglas who was behind him, and I reckon Jace was the one who got caught out. Well, I'm waiting to see.
I don't know if he hit Jace or not.
Yeah, there was.
Oh, look at that.
Yeah, there was contact.
He's just clipped Jace. Oh, Jace has done a nice slide there. Yeah, that car's second hand. Lucky we don't pay for repairs, eh?
Yeah, that's it. Luckily that no one has to fit that bill. James Scott goes fastest with a 2:05 that time.
We should do a series where you lose penalties for damage.
Yeah, you start with a bank balance, and anytime you ride off a car, you lose like 50 grand or something off the bank balance, and then your season's done when you're out of money.
Yeah, that'd be actually quite
funny. Chase some
Monopoly version.
Chase some fake sponsors, or you, depending on how well you do each week, you get points where you can claim to get a sponsor to get more money or something.
Yeah,
be a very involved
like V8 manager or something.
Yeah, be a very involved system. You'd probably need admins just to admin that side of it, but it would be quite interesting to give a narrative to everything and to have some pretend
Someone
real
who's out of
stakes.
money, all he needs is one more crash with no parts available. Will he make it through the track?
Yeah. Otherwise, he has to go picketing for a week to try and get some money up. Go knock on
Scott's
windows.
just hit a 2:05.577, so he's laid the gauntlet down. Next is Warboys of the 2:06.372 Mueller, 2:06.825, followed by Billy Mole, who's popped up for that 2:07.131. So they're starting to get up there in their times with about 8 minutes left to go.
And the lap times have been, well, relatively speaking, quite spread, but at the top end of town, it is very, very quick laps that have been coming in from these drivers. A couple of drivers yet to set times, including Blake Urquhart, who's trying to have a run, but there's some slower traffic up ahead of him who are resetting for their next lap. Hopefully they don't hold him up on this run. Oh, he just has a bit. I reckon he had a bit of a wiggle then, maybe put off by the slower traffic, thinking he may have gotten held up, and that's not going to help his lap time at all. Jace Douglas yet to set a time too. He was caught out with that incident with Harry Dodds at the top of the hill, which is probably a good time actually to see his POV of that moment, because that would have been wild from Jace's perspective. Oh, real hairy, real hairy. Let's have a look. Oh, this is already when it happened, so we have to go back further. Here we go.
Yeah. In VR, those sort of things are so spectacular.
So he comes round at the top. He actually clipped the wall. Oh, he already went off. That was actually the lap before. So we need to do some sneaky things. So let's go with Dodsey heading off track and then back to Douglas. Here we go. This is the moment. Oh, it was the tightest of margins.
Very hairy.
Tightest of margins. Somehow he got it through, but it was minimal damage on his car, and now he's just trying to set laps.
Looking good.
So the current.
No one's really setting anything light right now.
No.
Dodsey's got 3 greens, an orange in the first sector, so he'll definitely improve his lap and keep consistency of that lap coming through right now. On the edge of the top 10, we've got Harry Dodds, Steve Vella, Troy Dooley, Shane Rendell, Andrew Cowan all fighting for it, and Jamie Davis in 9th. So any of those boys could be going up with the big boys to do a top 10 shootout. Or we get someone like Blake Urquhart come up out of nowhere and just get a pop lap.
We know that Urquhart's got some pace from his previous outings on the Sunday night, so he's definitely someone that can challenge for it. Tim Mulford not on circuit at the moment. I don't know if he's racing or not, but he's in the server, so we'll see. We'll see if he ends up out in qualifying. He's only got roughly 6 minutes left to set a time here in quali. As Dodsey crosses the line, he goes P5. That's well within the top 10 for the shootout. So that'll work out well for him.
Leading his team right now too.
So guys like Dooley, Randall, Cowan's now been knocked out of the 10. Urquhart, Vella, Douglas, and Mick Clifton now pops in. He knocks
Mickey
out.
Clifton, Rockstar Clifton up at the 10.
He knocks out Jamie
Rushy,
Davis.
will you happy with that?
Yeah, he will be. So will Steph Piccoli. So Davis is now knocked out of the 10. He's got some work to do to try and get back in there. Little movement inside of the 10 with Stone Street getting past Lawford. Currently, as we've just clocked past the halfway point of the session.
Oh, God,
oh
look at
my
him go.
God, he is pushing it hard across the top. He wants this top 10 shootout.
3 purples.
Oh, that's James Scott, sorry, who's got the 3 purples. That was Damie Davis just putting it in the wall up at Skyline.
Yep.
So that lap's now done and dusted. As Scott runs through the final corner, he looks to go even faster here in qualifying to cross the line with another purple sector. 2:05. It was only a 0.3 gain. It was only a 0.03 gain, but it's still a gain. So that's just spreading his wings even further.
Yeah, that was scary for Jace at Skyline. That would have been, if he was in VR, mate, that would have been Code Brown, Code Brown. Look at these boys hammering along.
Just trying to find any time that they
Urquhart's
can.
on all greens. Is he going to make it into the top 10 with that?
He's just coming around Forest Elbow, so he's got to find the pace if he can. Just looking at his sector times at the moment. He's on pace. I don't know if it's going to be good enough for a top 10 at this stage. Currently landing inside of the shootout, it's James Scott, Blake Warboys, Ryan Mueller, Billy Mole, Harry Dodds, Troy Stone Street, Angus Lawford, Anthony Visma, Will Brown, and Mick Clifton. But those lower times are all at risk. I think we can confidently agree. I think if you're maybe P5 or 6 upwards, you're pretty safe. But from P7 down, it's not over until the checkered flag flies. You've got to get out there and cut laps.
Here comes Urky.
It's not good enough. It's
Yellow for a second sector.
It was a 2:09.
2:09.
Nowhere near.
No, he hasn't improved. Well, he's improved, but not enough to make any movement.
So Cowie now has to find some pace as well. You need a 7 to get inside the 10. Some of these drivers did a 7 in practice, but they've got to try and find the pace if they can to get their cars
The only
in.
one that's really improving at the moment is Billy Mole. He's got a green in the second sector, so he's got a personal best there.
But guys like
Troy Dooley as well.
Guys like Clifton, Davis, Cowan, Randall, and Dooley all set 7s in practice, so they are capable of it. It's whether they can find the magic that they need to get themselves into the top 10 shootout here for Bathurst this evening. 3 minutes left, so there's only probably, if you're out there for a lap, probably 2 laps for you in qualifying, Sinker.
Yeah, 100%.
And if you're not out there, you've got to get out there.
Get your car tyres warmed up now to finish it. Otherwise, if you're not out there warming your tyres, getting the opening lap, you're pretty much gone. Urky's still in the pit, so he might have given up.
Jace Douglas has still not set a lap time here in qualifying. Current track temp is 30 degrees, so it's not quite scorching, but it's not premium cold conditions. It's probably... It's fair, I would say. Fairly good at 30
Douglas has got a good draft here. If you can stick on this,
he still hasn't set a time yet. So he's obviously scraping the wall somewhere, and that's what's costing him lap times at the moment.
Ryan Mueller's got himself the 3rd. He's doing real. That's a 2:06.7 flat. So great pace out there, these boys. He's on 2 greens at the moment.
Only the top 3 under the 7s at this stage in quali, so they're not setting the timing sheets alight comparatively to practice, though they had a lot more laps in practice to do so back on, hopefully you would assume the top guys have got some qualifying setups on, but for Douglas, this is his final shot now of a qualifying lap. To get into the top 10 shootout, he has to get this lap completed. And he'll be loving the fact that he's got tow from Jamie Davis, but it's whether he's managed to keep it 0x across the lap. That's what's important. If he's kept it 0x across the top, it should be a clean lap. Will it be good enough, though, for the top 10? That is the question. Has he got the pace in him?
Yeah, well, depending on how fast Jamie's going, because he's hanging on to him for dear life, but we'll see how that goes. But there's a few boys out there. Clifton Randell's got 3 greens, and there's 4 greens as he's crossing the line. Has he moved up?
He has P10.
He has. He's gone to 10th place. So he's moved Mickey Clifton. Mickey Clifton is still out on track.
Just
where
responded.
He goes.
Clifton just responded with a 2:07.87. So Randall's
straight back down.
Randall's going to get it on this final lap.
Jamie Davis in 12th place. He's going to have a push with Jace Douglas behind him. Will they both get through, or will one of them get through?
Well, there's one more lap for them in qualifying. They've got one more shot to do this. Davis goes P11. Douglas P10.
He beat Davis out.
Yep. The toe helped him there. But now, if you're Jace Douglas, you're in the warning zone with only a couple of seconds left in qualifying. The final qualifying runs are about to begin for some drivers. This will be last crack for Warboys at pole, or provisional pole for the shootout.
Is just crossed. He is stayed the same place, so he's not going anywhere. Anthony Visma, we know he's got a bit of pace out there. He's gone to 8th. Visma in 8th. Steve Vello's having a good crack. All greens at the moment. Sitting in 17th. Will he jump these boys all the way to 10th? On 10th, on the cusp, we've got Will Brown, Jason Douglas in 9th and 10th place. Jamie Davis, who has got one lap left in him, in 11th.
So Warboys has pulled out. Oh, there's a bit of blinking there from Vella, but he's kept it going as he enters the chase. He's on all greens, so it's going to be an improvement. Is it going to be enough to get him inside of the 10 here at this stage of qualifying? Mick Clifton has backed out of qualifying, so he's not able to get inside of the top 10 for the shootout. Vella is the next car to cross the line on all greens. Is he going to slot himself in? He's not. P15.
No, not quite enough.
Next car is Randall, who's on all oranges. So he's not looking to improve at the moment.
No, he's sitting in 13th at the moment. Billy Mulwey's already made it in, so he's got a banker in there. So it looks like Jamie Davis is all oranges at the moment, so there's going to be no improvement on that time at the moment. So this could be it. Jace Douglas could have pipped him by 3/100ths.
So has Jamie Davis just cocked himself a little bit by giving Jace that toe across that lap?
Well, I think I was thinking there's going to be some team sport out there and some teams giving each other a toe, but there really wasn't. The teams are all over the place tonight for the top 10 for the shootout. It's for the quality for the shootout. So Davis has gone into the pit, so this could be it. This is it, done. Vismar's still out there on track, but everyone else is put out of the pit. So here we go. That's our top 10 for the top 10 shootout. First top 10 shootout for season 2.
Even though we're technically season 1 still for the Sundays, but the season 2 timeline. So just waiting for the results for you to give you the provisional names going inside of the top 10 shootout in a moment's time. What will happen is we'll go to a little recess. We'll bring up the ads once again, but we'll leave it open. We'll leave the comms open so we can still talk whilst we change over server, and then we'll get into the shootout server, and then we can rocket on forward to the top 10 shootout as well.
It might be able to just put my lead screen because I'm withdrawing and getting into the new one right now. So if I can get in quick enough, you might be able to switch that across.
So we're just awaiting the results, which is it's not wanting to give it to me, so that's fine. So the 10 names that will be getting inside of the top 10 shootout from 10th to 1st. This is how they'll line up for the shootout. Jace Douglas will be the first out on track to Will Brown, Anthony Visma, Angus Lawford, Billy Mole, Harry Dodds, Troy Stonestreet, Ryan Mueller, Blake Warboys, and James Scott for the 10 drivers about to head out for qualifying, or about to head out for the shootout, I should say. So let's just quickly pull some movie magic here. Just turn that down. There we go. All right.
So while you do that, you've gone through the list, yeah?
I have, indeed. I've gone through the list.
You have, indeed. So the lap times are pretty spectacular, so it's pretty good to see. We'll see these boys top enough, so it'll start with Jace Douglas. So Pa Douglas will be happy to see the young fella out there. Hopefully he can contain his nerves and get a good lap out there. It's always hard to be the first one out of the top 10 because you hit the wall, touch the wall, go off track. You miss out the whole shootout. So it's a tough one. It's a bit of nerves and everything else that goes with it as well.
I think the important part for Jace to remember is he can't drop any further down than where he's qualified. So what the strategy should be for him, I'm literally loading in right now. What the strategy should be for him is just set a banker lap. Just set a lap.
Yeah.
Because anyone in the 10 can make a mistake, and all of a sudden you've gained position. So for Jace, if he doesn't have the pace to challenge pole, he might as well just set a lap that's clean and good enough for 10th.
And hope that someone else makes a mistake.
Exactly. If he can just set a time that's good enough for 10th, he can naturally progress. So it's all about him deciding not to over push. That's what he needs to do, is just not over push in this top 10 shootout session. We're just loading into the server now, and then we'll be rocking and rolling into the top 10 shootout as well. You haven't actually shared your second screen again, Sinko, so you need to do that.
No, it's a bit lazy.
So the drivers in the shootout will have a couple of moments just to set a lap, and then it will be all guns a-blazing here for the shootout. Let's see here. Is it actually going to show it? No, it wants me to reload.
Yep, mine's on.
Yep, cool. I just got to reload the
timing. This is going to be fun. This is going to be some spectacular driving out here. Are we going to see 207s or 206s in the top 10 shootout? Probably not. They'll probably be a bit safer.
I don't think we're going to see. I don't think we see. I don't think we see a 5 unless someone's got a specific shootout set up.
Yeah, I think we'll see high 206s from the lead boys.
Yeah.
You think they'd go out a little bit more conservatively?
Well, that's going to be dictated by how well the competitor's gone before them. So James Scott's time is going to be dictated by how everyone else in the session has gone. Blake Warboys will be the same, except parlay to James Scott, and then so on and so forth. So if
yeah, I guess you're right. Yeah,
so that's what's going to dictate it.
Need to worry about, don't they?
Yeah, no, exactly. They don't have to worry about that. Yeah. They just have to do their thing and cut their lap. Where the guys who go towards the end they'll have the advantage to know how hard they actually need to push in the session.
I just changed screens. There's actually a phone number on the Bathurst winery. There's actually a phone number on the post underneath it for maintenance and repairs. I wonder if it's real. That'd be so funny.
It must be. What a way to advertise.
Yeah, that'd be a pisser. Oh, there you go. I'm looking forward to this. This should be pretty spectacular. These boys out here are very fast. So the actual team haven't got that much to do in the back end. They're just going to go, next one. So we've got tonight in the box is Tyson McAvoy, Sam Kudakazinos,
and Leakey,
and Greg Leake. Greg Leake will be driving the safety car. So Sam has been elevated to a second for tonight. I guess they're not expecting too much work.
Are you calling Sam lazy?
No. I'm just calling Sam a second, as in a backup.
Yeah, he's
so it'd be a good learning point.
Tyson would be the chief race steward in this scenario, and then
correct.
Sam is a race steward, and then Leakey is just there for a good time.
Safety car.
Yeah.
There for shits and giggles.
Yeah. Exactly. So first up on the docket is Jace Douglas here for his first lap.
Yeah, he's lining up.
He's lining up at the end of pit lane as he gets ready to go for his warm-up lap. It's the first time, actually, I think, so we've got 2 drivers who share their camera with us, where we can actually show them off during the top 10 shootout. So for Jace, this is now a quality opportunity for him to show off his skills, show off any faces that he makes during qualifying, and how hard he pushes as well. So
I've got the gyro going for the drivers at the bottom, so we can see the inside as well, while you can show the outside, so we get 2 perspectives.
Yep.
Well, you can hear his gearing and everything like that, and he's sounding pretty solid.
So we'll get that going for the drivers who don't have their cams with us. Of course, it's only Jason Harry inside of the top 10 who've got their cameras, so the majority of drivers will get the inside of their car. But might as well use the cameras while we've got it.
He's already doing 180 up the top here. So he's not really pushing flat stick, but he's not holding back either.
He's going conservative across the warm-up. He doesn't want to push it too hard, of course. Mr. Warboys has joined with his camera as well. So that'll be good.
Yeah, you also don't want to wreck the car as well before you even get to do your hot lap.
No, that's right. That's exactly right. So
get the tyres warm. There he is. He's coming down, working his way down the mountain.
So we'll of course have the sectors up on your screens as well to see how he's doing across the lap. And then we'll also compare with the next driver on screen when they head out to circuit as well. So Jace Douglas, he's getting the pep talk from Ray. He's standing there watching that.
Ray in the background.
That's not the greatest plan ever. I just put massive pressure by standing directly behind him. But first lap's about to come your way for Jace Douglas now as he finishes out his warm-up lap of...
Ray, if he bends it, give him a clip over the ear.
We're not promoting domestic violence here, Sinker. As the first lap of the shootout begins for Jace Douglas, and he enters as we enter towards turn 1 and up Mountain Straight for the first time. He's got the pressure on his shoulders to set the first lap in qualifying. Just has to keep it tattooed under his eyelids and in the back of his mind. Take it easy on the first lap. Don't push too hard. There's nothing to be gained.
251.
Yeah.
Just at the gate exit there and done really well. Off the wall. He's got to keep it off the wall. He's got to focus on that.
He does indeed.
Keep it clean.
So as he run up through the cutting, needs to keep it off the wall. This is now the toughest part of the circuit for him coming up. The run across the top, the easiest part to scrape the wall. Got loose on the bump. Of course, all of his sectors are going to be purple because he's the first car in the session to set a lap here in qualifying. Needs to keep it off the wall. Does so at the grate. Smart approach here from Jace Douglas at the moment. Driving incredibly smart in the shootout. Not pushing it too hard. Not pushing it to the limit. And just avoiding those crucial 0Xs across the top of the mountain in which it is most likely to happen as he enters into the dipper.
It's a little bit of understeer then. A little bit. Whew, that was close.
So as he runs...
I'm watching the inside of his car there and watching the steering wheel racked to the front end of his car. He's doing really well.
Keeps it off the wall at Forest Elbow as he runs down towards the chase once again. Down Conrod Straight. In what has been an exceptional lap from Jace in keeping himself cool, calm and collected, going for the banker lap, playing the smart game. As he runs through Sector 5, it was a 25.26. Sorry, 25.76 that time.
Keep it clean, keep it clean. A couple more corners to
bit
go.
of a wiggle.
A little bit shaky.
And as he runs to Hell Corner for the final time on the shootout lap, it looks to be a clean lap time for Jace Douglas.
Nice.
Which will be good enough to put him on provisional pole with a 2:08.59. So it's not a time where he's pushed it too hard, but it's one that at least is a banker that's dragging him in for a quick chat. Jace, a solid lap there, my friend. Just, not putting everything on the line too early. You got a lap time in. That's what means the most. And I think now if someone makes a mistake, well, if someone doesn't make a mistake, the worst you're going to do is start where you qualified. The best you're going to do is gain some positions if they do make mistakes.
Yeah, that's it was an alright lap. Just, didn't really push it as hard as I wanted, but oh well.
Mate, it's better to get a lap in than end up in the wall and stay where you qualified. So a solid job. We know that there's been some chaos before in the shootouts. Best of luck in the race. We look forward to seeing how you go.
Yeah, we'll do. Thank you. Thanks, Stephen.
All right, we've got
Will Brown next up
Brown
on the
track now. He's just crossing the start finish, done his warm up, and he's raring to go. Sitting on some good pace already.
So as he runs up the hill, we will be able to show the difference between him, not James
He's about
Scott.
1/10 slower at this point.
Apparently doesn't want to show me the comparison with Douglas. That's fine.
It's okay. It's a 2282 and these are 2291 at the moment. Looking very solid. He's not really fighting the car. He's doing well through there.
So as he runs up through Sector 2, it's a purple next to his name.
Yep. So he's got himself 1/10 up on Jace so far.
No, he's got a lot up on Jace at the moment, although that would have counted Jace's final sectors when he returned back to pits. So this is now crucial. 19.3, so a green next to his name. So he's gone fastest in the second, maybe a little bit more conservative in the third. Doesn't want to push it too hard and risk getting himself put under pressure by anyone else in the field as he runs down towards Forest Elbow. It's another
Very
green.
relaxed. He doesn't seem like he's pushing it too hard through the mountain.
I feel like he's also gone for the more
conservative approach.
Yeah, conservative approach. Just wanting to set a lap, which is it's smart. You know, put the pressure on the next guys on the road, knowing that you've already set a time. As he runs through Sector 5, it's a fastest time for him, a 25.73, so only 0.03 of a second faster than Jace Douglas that time through Sector 5. And as he runs down towards the start-finish line to end out his lap in the top 10 shootout for Will Brown of Phoenix Racing Team. He'll cross the start-finish line. Where does it put him? Does he go top with another purple? And it is a 208.51, so barely ahead. But provisional pole. Let's have a quick chat to him.
5500s.
5500s. Will Brown, nice conservative lap from you, but you've got a time on the board, and that's what matters.
Yeah, it wasn't quite what I was looking for. Bit of a mistake coming down the hill, but happy to be in the 10, so we'll see what happens later on.
And mate, better to get that lap in as well than to end up in the wall with a 0x and not even setting a time. So it's provisional pole for the moment as we just watch Anthony come down the hill. Over-unders on him beating that time.
Definitely, I'd say it's pretty likely, yeah.
All right, we'll see how he goes. Well, best of luck in the race. You'll at least be starting P9 at the very least, but maybe through some driver mistakes you may gain some spots.
All right, cheers, guys.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy.
So Anthony Visma next up on the docket for the top 10 shootout as he enters towards the chase once again. Do we reckon? Do we see a 7?
Look, Vizzy's got it in him. He's a quality driver. He's been out of SRW for a season or two, and he's back. And I've seen him do some spectacular things with this car. Well, not this car, with a V8, but let's see how he goes. He's about to cross the start-finish line now.
So he crosses the start-finish line.
Sounding aggressive already.
He is indeed. He is pushing it early as he runs through turn 1. And now up the mountain straight once again towards Griffins at turn 2. Just has to keep it clean. He's got the pace. He's got the ability. This car is a top 5 worthy car on its best day. It's whether he can place it there in the top 10 shootout as he runs up towards Sector 1. Goes fastest. So he's pushing early here, Sinker. It's a 22.78 off the first rip. So there's time in the lap for sure. For sure there is. They were conservative with Will and Jace. Anthony, though, wants to go for it.
He's hit the 251 right on that entry as well where Jace geared down too. So strategy-wise, they're all gearing pretty much around the same sort of drop zone for the first break for that first corner. He's looking clean though.
Yeah, it's another faster sector for him up at Sector 2. So at the moment for Visma, he looks to go fastest. He just has to keep it off the wall. Fastest in Sector 3. So if he can set a good enough pace, it'll begin to put the pressure on some of the drivers who are coming after him to kind of say to them, hey, you've actually got to push to get ahead of Visma in this qualifying session. And if they're not 100% confident in their efforts, they may not be able to do it. As he runs through, runs through Forest Elbow. Big old slide though off the exit.
Close.
So close. He's gone fastest in the first 4. And as we run...
Bit of clinching and nail biting then, mate. Tell you what, that was very close to the wall. He did really well to control that slide.
He did indeed. Pavlik's asked us what the track temp is. It is significantly colder in the shootout. It's 24 degrees for the track temperature. Hasn't gone fastest in Sector 5, but with 4 purples next to his name, he'll look to go straight to the top here in the shootout. He was 8th position coming into the top 10 shootout. Is he going to remain in 8th, or has it put enough pressure on the drivers to come to maybe force a mistake with a 7.7?
Quality drive. Quality drive. He's attacked that nicely, mate. He's done really well. Really well.
Anthony Vismark, congratulations. A 207.71. Slight mistake coming on to Conrod Straight, but a ripper lap from you. You've put some pressure now on the guys to come.
Yeah, it was a little bit untidy, but got it done. So it's a long race. Just see how we go.
It's a long race. It's a long shootout as well. Plenty of opportunity for these drivers to make mistakes across their laps. It's a solid time. It could even be worthy of the top 5 if some drivers do end up clipping the wall across their laps and push too hard. You've put the pressure on them now. We'll see how they go. Best of luck in the race, though. We look forward to seeing how you pan out across 80 minutes of racing.
Yeah, thanks very much.
Thank you.
Good luck, Vizzy.
Okay, cheers.
Next up, we've got Angus Lawford about to cross the start-finish line to begin.
The Ghost Viper.
The Ghost Viper of Project 36.
He needs that on his helmet, like Maverick, yeah?
He does indeed. So the telltale sign for how much pressure is being applied now to these drivers is if Angus goes for fastest sector in Sector 1. We know he's got the ability to. He's a Sandown 500 winner with James Scott alongside him. They go head-to-head tonight in this shootout. He's gone green in the first sector, so he hasn't gone fastest. He's done a 22.89, so currently he's good enough for P2 in the shootout. I almost feel he may be going conservative push at the moment.
Yeah, look, no, I don't know. I don't know if Lawford knows conservative, does he?
Maybe not. Maybe he's just better across the top. A 25
I'll tell you what, that was so close.
It was so close.
But he's attacking it now, folks. So you can see that the left-hand wall is just... Oh, he got so close there as well. He's talking centimetres now. If this was on F1, they'd be marking that wall with centimetre marks of how close he is.
So he's not going fastest at the moment, but there is some time to be gained down Conrod Straight and in through the chase, where we saw Visma make the mistake with the rear end wiggle off the exit of the elbow. So as he enters Forest Elbow to come down the fastest straight in Australian motorsports, he's done an 11.9 in Sector 4, so he's kind of right there, but it's still reading as P2 at the moment for Angus Lawford. So needs to find pace.
Screaming.
It is screaming, but he's got pace to find here in the last portion of the lap. As he enters the exit of Sector 5, it's not a fastest sector. That still sits with Will Brown, who went fastest in Sector 5. He was also fastest in Sector 6, so I don't think this is going to be good enough for provisional pole, but I think it'll be good enough for second at the moment as he comes up towards the final corner.
Doing well. He's done a cracking lap, man.
He has. It's been a phenomenal lap. Is it going to be a 7? He's gone fastest in the final sector for Angus Lawford, and the time hasn't counted. He's obviously hit the wall somewhere.
No.
Let's drag him in for a quick chat.
He must have. Where he got real close.
He must have. Angus, unfortunately, lap's not counted. You've copped a 0x somewhere. Can you give us any insight onto where that might have been?
Yeah, that would have been right under the Fujitsu sign. I managed to cop the 0x.
Yeah.
In the change of direction, so unfortunate. My lap was pretty good until that point, but yeah, just unlucky.
It was looking good, man. It was looking solid. It was looking for top 2 at least.
Yeah, it's a real shame, Angus. Real shame, but you've got good pace. You'll be starting P10, at least at this stage, unless someone else makes a mistake. So chin up. There's still a lot of racing to come. Best of luck in the 80 minutes. We look forward to seeing how you go.
Cheers, guys. Have a good one.
Thank you.
Take care, mate.
Next up, we've got Billy Mole on the docket, the driver with our favourite name in the field, Sinker.
Billy Mole.
Hopefully it's not Groundhog Day for him as he begins his lap. So his sectors will reset as he enters the first. I mean, if a small mistake like that can come from Lawford, are there going to be more mistakes to be made from some drivers? He's gone green in the first.
There's pressure and there's a lot on the line. It's the slightest little touch can ruin it, like it just did for Lawford. He was on a solid lap then.
Yeah, so Mole is about 0.08 of a second off of Anthony Visma's time at this stage as he runs up through 3 and 4 at the cutting and now up to Silman Park.
Angus hit the
Yeah,
wall.
that's where he did it. He's kept it off, which is good.
That's where I clinched.
He clinched for all the right reasons. He hit the wall,
Yeah.
apparently. So that's why the lap time was deleted for him as we run up through Skyline as well. Purple sector for Billy Mole. A 19 dead that time by.
Wrestling the car, man. He's really wrestling it. I think he's got a bit of understeer going on. But
Quite possibly. Let's have a look as he runs through the elbow. Oh, it doesn't look too bad. He's riding
Yeah, it
rear
was just that
slip,
one-
it seems. Maybe.
Yeah, one of those corners coming to the point, to the elbow, down the mountain. It looked like it was getting understeering a little bit, but he's doing well. Solid lap, looking straight.
Yeah, he's
no wall touches. That's important.
That's the main factor. That's what you lose your lap for, is those wall touches. As he runs through the chase, he's got one purple sector next to his name. The rest are green. And as he runs down towards the start-finish line, is he going to go straight to the top, or is he going to stay and go behind Visma into P2? As long as the lap's clean, that's all that matters. It's a purple in the final, and it's straight to the top with a 2:07.6 for Billy Mole.
Oh, mate, 8/100ths to it. Oh, these boys are cutting it fine, I tell you right now.
Cracking lap there,
That
Billy.
is mega close.
Couple of purple sectors to your name and a 2:07.62. Just quickly before we let you go, is the setup more rear slip angle at this stage? Because that's what we were kind of seeing off the exit of the elbow.
Oh, Billy Mole's voice box has gone like bad as a Tron.
Oh, well, Billy, that was a
No,
great
Billy,
lap
we
from
can't
you.
hear you, mate,
Yeah, we can't
unfortunately.
hear, unfortunately, but a cracking lap
got me
from you.
now?
Oh, we got you now, Billy.
there
Very
he
good.
is.
Very good.
Push the talk.
Very good.
Down at the elbow, I actually got surprised about how much grip there was. So I went too slow on entry and had to drive it out fast. Same with down turn 1 also.
Well, mate, it was a cracking lap with a 2:07.62 in an incredible effort. Dodsy's about to start his lap. Just quickly before he does, do you reckon he can beat the time or not?
Yeah, there's a few spots that I just took my time again because I just got caught out. I thought there was less grip than there was. So yeah, it definitely is beatable by him and probably a few others like Troy.
Oh, we'll see what he does, but best of luck in the race. Best you're going to start, I believe, is P5 or P6, so not so bad.
P5, P6, yeah. Yep. Good luck, buddy. Have fun out there.
Cheers. See you later.
So Dodsy's the next on the docket for his lap time at the moment. Shrouded in darkness and scowling his face as always. He's full concentration.
Yep. Looks like 251 is the max speed they're hitting down that little straight before they're slowing down. That was a bit close.
That was really wide. I have to wonder if he clipped the wall.
That over that bump, he went right over it and kept going. And I was like, ooh, is that going to touch?
That was so close. He's pushing hard to find lap time, but is he pushing too hard at this stage? Because he's trying to chase the tail now of Billy Mole at the top of the hill. So Mole was fast from right here at McPhillamy Park down towards Forest Elbow. So this is where he needs to find pace. But
this is his hoodoo.
So he didn't hit the wall this time at Skyline, which was good to see from Dodsy, but he's got to try and find something in this lap. At the moment, it looks really loose and really unsettled.
Yeah. That just could be set up for the night, or maybe just him pushing as well, not getting enough heat in the tyres on the out lap. But it's looking not too bad. I'm thinking somewhere around Will Brown's time.
Yeah, quite possibly. Maybe split the difference. Maybe a 2:08 dead. Quite possibly could put him P3 at this stage as he runs through the chase. There's no purple sectors next to his name, so he's not challenging for the top of the timesheets at the moment. But has the time counted? Did he take too much real estate at the exit of Griffin's Bend down at turn 2? Or did he manage to keep it off the wall and keep himself away from a 0x moment? Through the final corner now for Harry Dodds. What's the time going to be? Is it going to be P3 ahead of Will Brown? Or is it going to be behind? He's fastest in the first. He's gone top with a 2:07.4. Where in the hell has Harry Dodds pulled that from?
Come from?
Doddsy, where in the hell after the start of that lap did you just pull a 7.4 from? I've got no idea how you've just done that because the start of the lap, I'll be honest, looked messy as hell.
Can't hear you, mate.
Can't hear you, Doddsy.
Yeah, your guess is as good as mine, boys. I've got no clue where that came from. I thought it was good. I thought it was scruffy for the rest of the lap, but Carl was mega over the top of the hill.
Mate, there was some Dodds tax on that for sure, I reckon. But we'll see if you can carry that luck into the race. We've got Stone Street setting his lap now. That car looked very tidy from Billy on his one. Stone Street likely running the same setup. Do you think it's good enough to beat your time?
Well, we'll soon find out in about 2 minutes.
Yeah, we will indeed, mate. Best of luck in the race.
Well done, Harry, mate. Well done. Good luck in the race, buddy.
Thank you, boys.
All right, so Stoney's out there now, Sinker, in what he would hope to be the revenge of the WKMP to take the position back from Harry Dodds into a WKMP Sim Sports driver.
I really don't know. I'll have to look at the sectors later on.
I'm gobsmacked how he's done that. So he was slower in Sector 1, Sector 2 to Visma. He was faster than Visma in Sector 3. So someone's obviously set a session best in Sector 3 on the off lap.
Yeah, it's 3, 4, and 6. He's probably just slated.
Yeah, so he's just kind of compounded it all together. Stoney, though, has gone 22.9 or 22.89 in the first sector, so he's on pace at the moment for what would be good enough for P4, but there is time in the lap, a 25.14 in Sector 2. So he's currently one of the fastest drivers through Sector 2 at this stage.
Car looks very settled, man.
It looks so
really
settled,
grippy.
really planted, you know.
Yeah.
Which Doddsy's didn't look planted, so I think he just somehow yo-yoed it across the top and found a lap time. I'll be honest with you, I don't know.
He's done well.
He has done
Yep.
well. Stoney, though, through Sector 3, did a 19.2. Sector 4, 11.9 at this stage. So he's on good pace. He's on good stead. I think probably good enough, as I said, maybe for P4, maybe P3, if there's time to be found down the chase and in towards the final corner.
How's he going to go?
Does he run it through 300 kilometres an hour nearly through the
There's
chase?
no backing off through there at all.
He was
At
fastest
all.
through Sector 5, so he has the pace down the straight, possibly low wing on that car to try and get the run down the straight that he needed. And as he runs down towards the final corner, is this going to be good enough for provisional pole and to snip it away from Doddsy's hands as he crosses the start-finish line? Has the time counted? It has.
No.
P4, 208.04.
208.04.
Yep, the last
There you
corner he
go.
dropped time in the first half of the lap. He wasn't on pace enough. Troy, a solid lap from you, P4 in the end. Looking at it, though, across the lap, it seemed that maybe the first half of the lap was a little bit messy, and then that last sector, you just didn't quite get it hooked up.
The first half was just safe. It was just a bit too safe, I think, and then I tried to make it back and got messy on the second half. But anyway, it's a time. It's on the board.
It counts. That's the one, mate. Tell you what, one thing you got going is the car looks very planted, mate. It looks really good.
Yeah, like everyone will say, the race setup feels good, so let's see how we go.
That's all you can do.
You go out there, have some fun, mate, and put on a show because everyone out there is watching. And good luck, buddy.
Thanks, guys. Good on you.
Thanks, Troy.
Cheers, mate.
So next up is Ryan Mueller at this stage as he crosses the line to start his top 10 shootout lap. This kid's got some mega pace in him, Sinker. We know that he's bound to get something out of his sim racing career, possibly within the next year. It's whether the rocket ship to success is leaving today or if it's leaving next week. That's pretty much been the question with Ryan Mueller. This guy's got some talent. Yeah. Wouldn't it be ironic if he were to go the same lap as Billy Mole? Wouldn't that just be ironic? Wouldn't that be ironic if he just got the exact same lap time as Billy Mole? I mean,
yeah, he's pushing. I'll tell you right now, he's pushing.
He is indeed. 22.78 in the first sector, so he's matched Anthony Visma in Sector 1. Sector 2, he goes 25.24, so he's just off of Doddsy's second sector at the moment. Fastest through that sector is still Visma with a 24.98. So as he runs down towards Sector 3, there's a little bit of time to be gained here, but he looks mega quick across the top. And into Sector 3, and there's a reason for it. He's gone fastest. Oh, but that there, was that an off-track? That was.
Did he touch it?
I don't know. That was very, very hairy across the top.
Oh, you had your camera on the inside. Yeah, I don't know. From the inside, it didn't sound like it, but it could have been. It sounded very close. I could hear a bit of grumbling of dirt.
Yeah, that was so tight through the Skyline and the S's down towards the Dipper. The answer will be given to us once he crosses the line if the lap is going to count. He's got a purple next to his name, the 1902 in Sector 3. Has not gone fastest in Sector 5, so that still sits at the moment with Troy Stonestreet. But as we run down towards the final corner, has the lap counted for Ryan? And if it has, is it good enough for provisional pole position? The kid's got pace. Has he managed to get the lap together that he needs to stick it straight to the top? Across the line for Ryan. He's gone P2, 207.61.
Oh my God. He is 5 1,000ths faster than Billy Mole.
That's ridiculous. Ridiculous. Wow.
Unbelievable.
So let's drag him in and have a quick chat while Blake Warboys warms up for his lap. Ryan, tough effort. You sent it across the top, down through Skyline, just missing out on Dodsey there by about 0.2 of a second. You were 0.05 of a second faster than your rival Billy Mole. But how's the car feel? Because it looked like we could have sworn you copped a 0x or a 1x down through Skyline.
It was very average, I can tell you that. Yeah, just no grip, no turn, nothing, so a bit disappointed.
No, mate, it's all right. You've got a time on the board, and I think at best you're going to start P, or at worst you're going to start P4, so that's not so bad.
Yeah, it's a solid lap, mate. It's still good. It's like, and it's an enduro, so I think second row for enduro is sensational.
Yeah, I'm happy to be somewhat near the front, and yeah, the car was really good in quali, so I'm hoping it's really good in the race too.
Well, mate, plenty of racing to come, plenty of opportunity to make positions. We'll see how you go. Great job to get into the shootout. You'll start second row in only a couple of moments' time, so congratulations.
Cheers, boys.
Thanks, mate.
Cheers, mate.
So, Mr. Blake Warboys is now out on circuit with us as well. P2 in the regular qualifying session. Only one driver has failed to set a lap time here in the shootout, that being Angus Lawford after clipping the wall up at Sulman Park at the Fujitsu sign. Warboys has gone 22.789, so he's on pace to go fastest at this stage. Fastest sector in Sector 2, so he's pushing it hard across the top. And we'll see what the lap time results in when he gets to the end. Doesn't want to hit the wall, though. We'll see, but it's full focus for Warboys.
Tell you what, he's very close to the wall. I'm watching the inside cam, and he's pushing it to every edge of boundary he can to take as much track as possible.
Fastest in Sector 3 with an 18.91, so the first driver to get an 18 across the top towards Skyline as he runs down towards Forest Elbow to enter into Sector 4. It's an 11.741, so he hasn't gone fastest there, but at the moment, Warboys in the 63 championship leading car is provisional P1 on the timing sheets as he runs down towards the exit of Sector 5 at the chase.
I tell you what, it might have been the fastest, but it was the smoothest. The steering inputs were sensational.
Could we see a 6 from Warboys?
That's going to be fast.
It's going to be fast. He hasn't backed off. He's gone fastest in Sector 5. And as he runs down towards the final corner, this thing looks absolutely hooked up. Supercrushers said it before I could. This thing looks planted, it looks stable, and it looks race ready as he comes around the final corner. Blake Warboys is going to go straight to the top of the timesheets if it's counted. It's a 206.8.
206.7. What a lap. Absolute cracker.
Blake, that is an absolutely mega lap time, 206.8. We saw you pushing hard to get that one, but you missed out on 3 sectors with purples. Are you disappointed not to go perfect, or are you thinking that may be good enough? Oh, you need it. You're not.
Can't hear you, mate.
Yeah, push to talk. That'll help. Yeah, I reckon James will get into a 5 here. Like, I messed up.
He's going to put it all out, is he?
Oh, yeah.
Well, he has to.
Yeah, he's an alien. He'll definitely get into a 5 if you watch.
He's going to have
Mate,
to.
you look so relaxed coming through the mountain at the skyline and everything like that. Your steering inputs and just listening to the engine revs was so bloody nice, mate. It was poetry. It might not have been the fastest, but geez, it was smooth. You feeling comfortable up there?
Yeah, pretty good. We've made some, well, I should say Troy's made some good gains with the setup. So, yeah, we're closer. I feel like in that qualifying session, I was only half a second off.
Yep.
James, so, you know, closer than we were when we were here for the Tuesday night series. But, yeah, he's still miles ahead.
He's still miles ahead, but mate, you got a team around you, so a bit of teamwork might not be too bad.
Yeah, we'll see how we go. The boys are feeling pretty good, so let's see what happens.
All right, good luck, brother. We've got James starting his hot lap now, so we'll see you in 2 minutes' time and see how you go.
No worries, mate. See ya.
So there is time on the board for James Scott to put this thing in provisional pole position. Blake Warboys made the prediction that James is going to set a 2:05 in the shootout. It's going to take a full push, full clean lap from the Chiefs driver who came into the shootout on provisional pole. Warboys currently sits atop the mountain with that time of a 2:06.8. In the first sector, James Scott has just gone fastest with a 22.63. So he is pushing like mad to get this thing to pole. And as he runs around the cutting, well, we'll just see how many purples he gets next to his name across the top.
Tell you what, mate, it's so close. That Fujitsu sign really sniffed the left mirror. That was so bloody close.
He's gone fastest again in Sector 2 at 24.85, so he's currently on track to get provisional
You
pole.
better not tell us he hasn't practiced.
Another purple in Sector 3. Just needs to keep it out of the wall across the top, and he should be on for pole position. But that's the hardest part. The last part of the top part of the mountain at Forest Elbow as he runs it round. Needs to keep it out of the wall. He's hooked it up on the rears, ridden that rear master cylinder to get the car turned round, and now he looks to run this thing straight to pole with 4 purple sectors next to his name as well. He is on absolute fire. Purple in Sector 5.
Jesus Christ. That was close.
You want to send it any harder, James, through the chase? He sent that thing like a postman throwing a parcel at a front door. As he comes towards the final corner for James Scott and the Chiefs, it's a perfect lap around the 6.2k mountain of a street circuit we call Bathurst. It's to the top of the timesheets. What's the time? It's a 2:06.1 from James Scott.
Whew. 6/10.
James, I got to be honest, I'm disappointed because Blake said you were going to get a 5 and then you didn't. But still, it is provisional pole position. Well, it's pole position for you, sir, after the shootout. That looks like, though, even though it was obviously a push lap, it looked like it was a 95% push lap. You weren't trying to push it too hard to not risk going in the wall, I would assume.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Yeah, not happy with that lap either, but yeah, it was good enough. Should have probably done a 5.7 or something like that, but yeah, that was all right.
Just a casual 5.7, like it's absolutely nothing, you know. But, but I mean, 80 minutes racing ahead, James. Blake was only just off your lap time in practice. We'll see how much closer he can be during the race, but obviously you'll be hoping for green period all throughout. You'll be hoping we go green the whole way, so then you're not held up by safety cars or anything.
Yeah, no, it's you know, whatever happens will happen. I'm not too worried. Just if you're fast enough, you should come out on top as long as you don't make any errors. So yeah, just drive fast, and whatever happens, that'll happen.
Well, mate, it's a long race to come. We look forward to seeing how you go and whether you'll be chatting to us once again post-race in a race-winning position.
Thanks, mate.
Thank you.
Take care, buddy. Good luck.
All right, so server changeover begins to head over to the race server here this evening. Ladies and gentlemen, top 10 shootout is done. Qualifying is done. Now it comes down to the nitty and gritty. The green to checkered flag run of 80 minutes around Mount Panorama Bathurst is only a short few moments away As I've just seen, the race session goes up at, well, they need to set the grid. So we're going to be sitting here for a couple of minutes and going to have a chat.
Definitely sit here.
Yeah.
We've definitely got a chat. We're definitely it's not very often that we don't know what to chat about, but I tell you what, that was some killer driving there. The watching these boys through the cockpit cam and the inputs, it's no wonder how bloody quick they are.
It's ridiculous. It's absolutely ridiculous how much time or how much effort they can find to push these cars to their absolute limits. It's ridiculous. It is honestly ridiculous how quick these guys are. And 80 minutes of racing around Bathurst. We call it an enduro because that's, we're obviously time limited. We don't want to be going racing for too long on a Sunday night. I mean, that's a double stint of Bathurst right there. 80 minutes of racing is a double stint in a Bathurst 1000. So it's a long time to go racing right before people go back to work tomorrow on Monday. So, they'll be feeling the heat, feeling the pressure.
Yeah, and these boys, it wouldn't be the only time they're in the car all week. They'd be probably racing every second night and practicing here and there as well when they get the opportunity. So they put the times in, they put the laps in to get where they are. They're not fast from pure luck. They're fast because they practice and they work hard. And takes hats off to these guys. I wish I had the dedication they did because they're crazy fast. Some of these boys.
Well, let's think about it for a second, Sinker. If they only race in SRW and they race across all the series, there's Tuesday Supercars. Also, actually, let's say this. Monday, there's the strength of field for Supercars. There's the Tuesday Supercar series. If you're Mick Clifton, you race in the Wednesday SFL series. Some drivers race in the GR86s on the Thursday. And then you got Sunday Supercars. Now, if they're drivers who race in other leagues like GSRC or etc., you've got strength of field Monday night, Tuesday night Supercars. If you just race Supercars, you've also got GSRC in the same week. You've got vets. Some weeks you've got Scops. Other weeks, sometimes you've got Pro Series. There's a multitude of series that happen. So these guys are getting a lot of seat time and a lot of practice, not only in these cars, but also in other cars too, getting some track knowledge about them.
We have got a major amount of drivers that drive multiple series with us. It's ridiculous. It'd be ridiculous how many. There would be at least 10 drivers, or if not 15, that drive in multiple series. There's some guys that drive every night of the bloody week, which is amazing, and thank you for it because it keeps me and you entertained.
Oh, that's it.
So
It's
it's cool.
Keeps James awake early in the morning when it's the wrong time zone as well. So it's we appreciate it,
correct.
but there's a multitude of Australian, New Zealand sim racing series out there on a multitude of nights at completely different time zones as well. So there's some guys who will race two different series in the same car at two different times on one day.
Oh, 100%.
Insane.
100%.
Absolutely insane. But they are crazy, but they are dedicated to sim racing. SRW is built up of a multitude of people.
Sport, mate. It's their sport.
Exactly.
It's like if you're a keen racing driver and you can't afford to be out there in the real world tracks, well, this is what you do. Yeah. Some people play football, some play soccer, some race sim racing.
Exactly
it's
right.
like it's not a child's game anymore. It's God. There's some professionals out there. People like Scott and Warboys. They're doing some really cool stuff with it.
Well, I mean, there's the guys who raced in the Supercars E series when that was around during COVID. There's guys who've travelled internationally to go race for actual esports teams like the one that I always think of as Williams Esports, but there's a multitude of esports teams out there that drivers race for. I mean, James races for the Chiefs is not just a sim racing team. That's an esports team. They do esports all around the world.
They travel the world.
Yeah, so he's now part of a massive conglomerate with the likes of Dylan Rudd, and Griffin Gardner.
Yeah.
So there's so much on offer for these drivers. Stephen Banks in the chat with us tonight as well. Ryan Mueller said add some rain for entertainment. You really want to drive in the rain at Bathurst?
I said people call it a game. I said it's not. It's definitely a simulation, and it's you know what? It's still race. It's racing. That's all it is. I don't even call it a simulation anymore. It is racing. They go out there and they race their nuts off, and good on them. I love it. Definitely not a game.
It's made like a game.
Race.
Yeah,
This is
I think
yeah.
I think Ray's been trying to sell the fact that they should be using a shifter.
Well, you know what? Everyone, it's each their own. If they want to drive with a shifter, they can. If they want to drive with paddles, they can. I drive everything with paddles, even a bus. So it's what I have. I can't afford a shifter. Well, it's more expensive as well for some people.
I don't think it's worth gatekeeping a shifter. Like
Yeah.
It's racing. However we can go racing is best. But there's a guy who races supercars on a controller because he can't actually use a wheel and pedals. So
there you go.
he's out there running on a controller because that's all he can do. You expect him to use a shifter as well? He can't. Not everyone can. Not everyone has the capabilities. Not everyone can afford to buy a shifter.
K&H is like, I love my sim racing. Call it my. It's you're not an adult child, mate. You're just a racer with racing within your budget, within your means.
That's right.
That's what it is. We are all racers that race within our budgets, and race with our means, also within our family lifestyle. Because as much as I'd love to be out there in an MX-5 or a 286. It's not only the race, but it's the week before getting it ready. It's also being away for the whole weekend from the family. It's also coming home and explaining to the wife that diff's gone and you're going to spend another $3,000. It's also explaining you need new tires for the next event. So it's the next best thing. Is a cheaper form of racing, which is sim racing. And you know what? It's getting bigger and bigger, not just in Australia, but all over the world. It is growing at an exorbitant rate. People think it's slowing down, but it's not. The stats that I've been seeing, because I do my research every now and again to see how the industry is going crazy. The development and the progress that's happening at the moment, technology-wise, is ridiculous, and it's going to keep growing. It will. It's going to become a sport which is more attainable to people. It's also going to be more of a direct pathway to real-world racing for younger drivers as well that can't afford to be out in cars, and we've seen it happen. We've seen it happen with young.
There's a guy in the US.
Anthony
who won the Coca-Cola series on iRacing and now races in NASCAR at top level.
There was a young boy that raced with us in the Porsches, a new Kiwi boy, Anthony something, I can't remember his names. He won the title in the Porsches with us. He's one of his sponsors got him a drive day in a GR86, and that got him into a team. And from there, he actually raced in the GR86 at Bathurst about 3 years ago. So I can't remember the young fella's name. I'm sure one of the boys that races with us will remember him. But he was fast, and he succeeded that way. So it's a different pathway altogether.
I guarantee you, next generation of supercars has paddle shifters. I think that's the way we're going at the moment. Is that the next lot of supercars are going to be more like GTs, and they're going to have paddle shifters. I would love them to keep sequentials, but I just think because to cut down costs and stuff like that, they will eventually move.
Not only that, man. The
paddle
cars
shifts.
are getting faster.
Yeah.
The cars are also a lot harder to handle. The V8 supercars, no ABS, no traction control, and it's going to be, if they get faster and faster, they're going to need to have their hands on their steering wheel a lot more of the time.
Yeah.
It just won't be safe to change a gear here and there. It's bad enough that some of these guys are flicking brake bias as well, up and down, taking their hands off the steering wheel too. So it'll all change. It will. It's progression. It's the way it's going. As long as it doesn't come out to be V8 electric cars.
I don't think that's going to happen. I think they're going to keep the internal combustion.
Not in Australia, anyway.
Yeah. We're just waiting on the session to go up as well. If you guys are just joining us for the race session, we won't be too far away from getting into the race session. The reason that there is this little wait period in between is the race control actually have to set the grid manually because we have the top 10 shootout. So they're currently going through that process of setting up the grid, also applying the drivers who requested a rear of grid by not making qualifying. So they have to add them to the back of the list as well. So that is a bit of a process. Normally we're in the session by about 1:15, so it shouldn't be too much of a longer wait. But if you're happy to sit around and listen to me and Sinker chat absolute dribble for the next 5 or so minutes, then please stick around because we've got an epic race to come, and there's so much more that we can talk about. We can pull a topic about anywhere, Sinker. So
Yeah, it is true, and we do let's not get the bloody electric supercars. Can you imagine that? But you know what? iRacing's tried it. They had the hybrid, the electric Porsche on here, didn't they? I think
the
it's
Mission
like a lead balloon. Yeah, I don't think I've seen anyone race a league or a session.
I personally think that the way that F1's going here, F1's moving to hydrogen power in the next car update. I think eventually a lot of motorsport series, excuse me, are going to do the same thing going forward. So I think a lot of them to keep the combustion engine are going to go hydrogen.
Dude, in all honesty, electric motor cars are the biggest scam on the planet. It is actually more pollution to get those batteries in car going.
Yeah.
They will definitely be hydrogen powered cars, mate.
Yeah,
It's going to be the way to go.
I think for
SRW NASCAR
or
GT3 series. Oh, mate, I
We've-
would love it.
We've done GT3s before. Unfortunately, we just don't have a viable night to do it where people are able to race.
Yeah, it is. It's the night selection. NASCARs we did for a while, and it imploded. They just started fighting and arguing amongst themselves, and it turned into high school, schoolyard sort of stuff, and then just fizzled. But yeah, look, at some point we'll get back into the GT3s, and some point we'll get back into try some NASCAR and stuff like that. We're always trying something new with every now and again. It really depends on schedule, and it depends. Most of all, what it depends on is sponsorship. We just can't afford to run more than what we're running at the moment with the current rate of sponsors. So if we have someone that comes in and wants to sponsor a NASCAR series, a GT3 series, then we'll make it happen. We've got nights we can double up on and stuff like that. So it is really about financial restraints more than anything, because we need more staff, more people. The current staff that we've got, we just wouldn't be able to handle, especially the RC. Broadcast staff, yeah, we can always expand. It's easy to expand. We've got people in the background that can jump in anytime, but it's more race control and stuff like that, because doing a 3-hour stint for one person as a race controller is a hell of a job. Maybe not like nights like tonight, but nights like on Tuesday night, double headers in the V8 Supercar, split 1, split 2, can be quite a chore. I still haven't seen the session pop up yet, so the boys
they're still doing it.
They're still doing it.
It's one of the reasons. It's one of the reasons why we don't run Tuesday Supercars conglomerately, or concurrently, I should say. So that's a reason why Split 2 starts before Split 1. It's because we don't have enough race control for the one night to run 2 splits at the same time, because you need 2 teams of race controllers. That is a CRS, an RS, and a safety car driver in both splits. So it just makes it a little bit easier for the team to do it one after the other. Who knows? Maybe if the race control team expands in future, that means that Tuesdays would go to concurrent split races, and split 2 would be done broadcasted afterwards. I don't know. That would depend on the numbers and stuff like that. But
yeah, it's the good thing about it. It's growing. Maybe give Sunday Supercars a rest, and Tuesdays are booming. Look, yeah, that is the thought. Sundays, I'm reluctant to let go of Sundays purely because it was the first thing we did. It was the first thing we stuck with. Most likely next season we will go back to the standard format instead of the long season, because I think the long season is dragged out a little bit. But we would still miss the Scops round and maybe run into the break rather than run it through the next season. So I'll evaluate that probably at the end of the season. But we've got, keep your hats on, because I think Tuesday nights is going to get bigger and crazier. And I think Sunday nights will get more popular. We may have an early session, I don't know, with some pogs out there or something else. I don't know. It really is. Depends on sponsorship. We've still got a sponsor we're searching for the GR86s. So if you know anyone out there who wants to be the naming rights, we've talking to a lot of people, but no one's really committed at the moment. I think everyone's been waiting to see what happens with the election, and everyone's been holding on to their money a little bit tighter than usual. So it is what it is, but we keep battling on.
Well, we're not gonna go into the election results anyway, because this is nor the time or place.
No, we won't talk about it.
Maybe we'll start a political.
No matter who's there.
Maybe we'll start
who's there is not really going to help us.
Maybe we'll start a political discussion channel somewhere. SRW politics coming to your screens very, very soon. But yeah, no matter how passionate I am about politics or how passionate Sinker may be about it, we're not going to talk about it on here because it's not the place.
It gets messy.
Unfortunately, no matter who you support or who you vote for, someone's always going to disagree with you, and then that can turn into an argument, which is not the best thing to happen. So it's it's more or less Racing is
It was,
racing. Cars are good.
I just hope everyone enjoyed their diplomatic sausage, and
I voted early, so I didn't get one. So.
And neither did I. And our wait to vote, that was just so much fun. At least my boy, at least there was a park at the school we went to, and he played in the park the whole time until I told him off because I couldn't see him, and told him to stay within my eyesight.
Yeah, he has to guess where Sinker can look.
No, I said to him, if you can't see me, I can't see you. And that's it.
Did
Two topics off limits: politics and religion.
Exactly right, Steph. Exactly right. It's honestly, it's we can talk about anything else, depending on the time of day, but those are the two things that are off limits for us: are politics and religion. They just call
it gets messy.
It does. It does indeed.
Is that drinking off of me, love? A bit of politics playing in my house as well.
Would,
she thinks she's the Prime Minister and gets to get herself a drink and sit down with a meal, and I'm here dehydrated without talking to Hamish, and I can hear her crack a can. That wasn't a beer.
To pull that off would require a working relationship with vets to pull that off. To do fixed setup on Sunday using their setups. So yeah, that's not something that I think we're open to, are we, Cinco?
No, but it's we can't use other league setups. That wouldn't be the right thing to do. But there's a lot of options out there. There's a lot of things that are going on in the background. And look, I won't give up on Sundays because it's been our bread and butter for a long time, and it is the championship. Warren and Brown are giving away tools. I think it's just really an awareness. I think more drivers need to be aware of the quality of the field on a Sunday night and be out there. I mean, we'll have 25 cars for the sesh once the sesh starts, and it's just come up now. So it'll be. Why is it unavailable?
You got to wait for the timer to start.
Yep. So it'll, there's things to do. People will realise, how Warren and Brown are behind us. I've got tool bags, all sorts of stuff which we're giving away for this season. So the top 3 will win those items. So there's a lot there. Veterans League, anything is possible. Look, it is true. But you never wish for something out loud because it always burns it.
maybe that's the doorway being cracked open for another Australian Nationals series to start a Supercars Nationals or something. Who knows? But
yeah. Well, with the Open Wheel Nationals has been a very big success, and we're even when we had time to do our show, which we'll hopefully have time to do soon again. We spoke a lot about other leagues and how they're doing and how well they are. We're a league where we're happy to talk about others. If you guys in the vets want to send me a blurb on what's going on this week, I'm quite happy to talk about it during our show. And we talk about Logi, we talk about our drivers participating in all other series. So we're very proud when we see drivers that compete in our series doing well in other series. I reckon it's bloody awesome.
Well, it's just like real world racing, Sinker, where a multitude of drivers in real world racing a whole heap of different series out there, and it's the commentators talking about what the drivers have been involved in, where they've been racing and what they've been doing. So that's
when you got commentators like Danica Patrick talking about F1. She's got no idea about F1, but she's a driver that's done Indy, and she's got a public and a people that like watching her on TV. She's looking as fit as hell, I must say. I saw her on the show yesterday. She looked like she'd been in the gym for 3 months, just going crazy. But the session is loading up. We're both in here loading at the moment. There's a lot of names that missed out in the top 10 that are in there, so it's going to be a lot of fun. So if you're still sitting there watching and you're thinking, oh, where's the session? I'm supposed to be racing tonight. Get in there. Get ready. Peter Pav. Banksy was giving me some excuse about racing in the 305 or whatever it's called. Banksy, just get in your rig, get in that seat, and get racing. Who else is out there? Steph, I want to see you back in a V8, mate. You were doing some good stuff. You had one or two races.
She's been race controlling on Tuesdays, Sinker.
I know. But I like seeing a few more females out on track as well. Di Feldman was doing really well. Some issues with the drivers who had quit the series and then suddenly decided they wanted to race. That's all good. So once they quit the series and they wanted to race, their names would have gone off the invitation to the series, so the boys would have had to resend it out. But that's all cool. Looks like the boys have sorted it. And they've suddenly decided to race because they saw it was Bathurst, and that's good. It's good to have them back and enjoy the racing. We've got out there, I've already got my cam going of James Scott in the car. Put some audio. I love listening to these cars.
They sound absolutely immense, don't they? They sound
They
absolutely
do.
incredible.
They do. Yeah.
I'm just letting
not a
this session
massive,
now.
not a massive V8 head. Like, I just love racing, but at the moment, there's nothing that's sweeter than the sound of this V8 supercar at the moment. I just think they've done such an awesome job on racing.
There is something about a racing V8 engine.
Yeah.
So not even just, you know, a V8 engine in general, but a racing V8 engine, just the tone that thing brings.
My favourite engine noise is the Maserati Quattro. That the GT
the Audi Quattro, you mean?
Well, no, not the Audi Quattro. No, I mean Quattro. The Maserati GT.
Ooh.
The sound of that engine, the notes of it is just spectacular. It's a Ferrari engine, but it sounds better than the Ferrari engine. It's just spectacular. I heard one again the other day. I always seem to find these people in the tunnel going from east to west, and the dude just yeah, you know, it's like you got a hot car. You just got to rev up that engine every now and again in the tunnel, and it sounded awesome.
Peter Gretton's asking what sounds better than Mustang. In my opinion, I prefer
the Mustang.
the
I think the Mustang sounds better. Yeah.
The Camaro sounds good, but I prefer the Mustang.
Yeah. Oh, Mr. Gretton likes the Camaro.
Yeah, he does. No. I think he's actually correcting himself because he misspelled Camaro. He spelled Kaz Masro when he wrote it out.
Yeah. They're I think they're having problems with Ryan's thing. They're trying to unmute him.
Yeah, they've just got to unmute him.
They're ready to go out there. Tell you what, nice grid. Plenty to be raced, plenty to be won.
Well, I'm going to do very quickly what the chat should do. I'm going to go get myself a drink and prepare myself for 80 minutes of racing, Singer, so I'll be back in a second.
Well, I've got myself a nice lemon lime Schweppes mineral water infused. I drive the Camaro, but think the same. In my opinion, yeah. It just, I don't know, it's just the squeal and the rumble. But in saying that, I wouldn't say no to either of them, to be honest. If someone said to me, going to go for a test drive in one or two of them, I'd be out, hell yeah. But would they trust a sinker on a track like anything with one of these cars? Probably not in real life. With my occasion to spin. While we're out here, please like, subscribe, hit that notification button so you know when we're online next, and we know when we're racing. We have 50 people in YouTube watching, plus Facebook, so welcome on board. Hit those subscribe buttons. If there's someone during the race you want to see, a teammate you're supporting, let us know. We've got the 2 cams running all night, and we will share the drivers as much as we can, especially the mid part of the race where things start to get a bit blown out and separated. That'll be a time where we'll be flicking to as many people as we can and keeping you happy. We've got a few guys on camera at the moment too. So we've got Dodsy, Cowie, Douglas, and Warboys. Always ready. I've been talking, I didn't shut up.
Oh, that was... I got that right on stream as well. That was one of the best can cracks I've pulled. So I hope the ASMR for the Supercars pays off for us.
Did you have me on silent when you walked away?
I muted my microphone when I walked away.
Oh, good. You didn't mute me away. Oh,
no. Yeah, no, I just left you here to chat to yourself, Singer.
Would it be the first or the last time?
Well.
Oh, dearie me. All right, what's the prediction? We're going to get a safety car tonight?
Yes. I think we'll get one. And I think if it's gonna happen, it will be either right at the start. It'll either be right at the start or in the middle, I think.
Who's going to cause a safety car? I've got 2 that I think will cause a safety car. Nothing against them personally, but I just think they always get in trouble. Dodsy And Jace.
I'm going to parlay that with I agree on one of those names. And I have a second name or a third name, I should say, that would go with them. And again, nothing against the person at all. I'm just picking a name out the list, I'll be honest with you. Peter Pav, I don't know. Peter Pav will cause a safety car.
You know what? He's been so unlucky lately.
He really
I'm
has.
waiting for Pete to get up there, and yeah,
he's been real unlucky, and it hurts to see him be so unlucky as well, because he has been a driver that has had some really good luck on track in previous seasons, and unfortunately, he's just been on the bad side of lady luck this season. So
he's a past season winner too.
Yeah.
So he has been on the wrong side of lady luck. Well, you know, fingers crossed that he has a killer tonight. It could be the turn of something new.
Peter's saying we'll cause a safety car when we talk up a driver. Sinker will cause a safety car when he talks up a driver who's on screen.
All this week, I shit you not, all this week I have, every time I've switched my back camera, I go to JP on Thursday night. I'm going to switch my camera to this person, and as I'm switching my camera, that person's gone into a wall. It happened 3 times on Thursday night.
It's like they know.
Once on Wednesday night.
It's like they know, isn't it, Sinker? It's like, oh, Sinker's looking at me, better crash.
Yeah.
It's the Sinker effect.
Yep.
That's what it is.
The Sinker effect.
You're not out there to spin, so they're out there to crash for you. That's what it is.
Yeah. Are we going to see some team action tonight? That's the question.
WKMP, yes, because they're all together up the front.
Yep.
But I don't know.
Well, I think that's the way they're going to have to play it against James Scott. They're going to have to be smart about it.
The problem is, it's hard enough to get past James, but Blake's the only one who's on pace with him. And if James sets qualifying laps in the first few laps and steamrolls ahead, then it's going to be a tough task for Blake to catch him. And maybe it depends on the safety cars when they pit and stuff like that. PSR's got some drivers out there together. They qualified around about the same place, but again, they've not got too many drivers behind them. It's whether they can push the car forward and push the pace forward to battle, to the next drivers up the list. For Phoenix Racing Team, Will Brown's further up the field than what Steve Vella is, as well as Tim Mulford, so they've got some catching up to do to him. There's no Rehan in the field, there's no Jack Andrews as well, so they've got some work to do for them to fight forward.
You know what? It's gonna put an impact on the ladder, isn't it?
It will. What it's going to impact is it's going to impact Jack, who's in P2 in the or around about P2 in the championship.
Yeah.
We mentioned that Blake could finish P2 every race behind James until the end of the season. He'd still win because James has missed one too many rounds, but the battle for P2 is still on. James could very easily still make P2 depending on who shows up every single week, so it's not out of the realm that he could finish second in the championship. If Blake misses another round, then that may hurt him as well, and that would then bring James back into it, but without Blake having a donut next to his name, James doesn't, he needs Blake to not finish second pretty much in every race. He needs to finish like back into the top 10 or outside the top 10.
Yeah, 100%. I'm just watching these boys come down the mountain at the moment.
So to explain it for you, it's a paid series, but the subscription you pay gets you access to every SRW series. So it's $10 a season. $15 a season, and you get access to all 4 series that we run. So it's not per season. It's not per series based. It's every single series for the 9-round season that you get. So for drivers who raced on the Sundays, they either needed to have the 12-month subscription or have the first 2 seasons subscribed to actually finish the championship.
Yeah. So it'll be so basically we've got about I think it's just under 200 drivers at the moment with us that race multiple series and single series. Some guys only gone sideways. There's a pelican in the wall.
And it's Peter Pav. We've already put the mods on.
Yeah.
Oh no. I think he's getting it out of the way in practice. That's what it is.
So so you do, all you do is get online, pay subscription in the payment section, there's a Discord link. Link goes to Discord. Then we have a registration system for a series inside there. So you just pick what you want, go to the top of the series, fill your little bits and pieces in, put your order number of your purchased series, purchased season, sort of details from PayPal, and then off you go. That's it. You race whatever you want to race, and you have some fun, and that's it. We run 4 seasons a year, and a lot of fun. 9 rounds per season. And there is a trophy for first for each one when I can get to ship them out. I've got 2 seasons to ship out at the moment, so life gets in the way for me sometimes. But we will get that done in the coming week.
Yep, I'm just about to load up the grid, but I've just got to quickly reload the overlay, so
yeah,
any chances to do that.
4 series a year. So the V8 this season, the championship is run across 2 seasons. 2 of our regular seasons, so everything else will run round 1 this week and 9 more rounds.
So
well, it works out to about $60 for the year. Yeah.
It's a pretty solid deal for what you get out of it.
Yeah.
You get your races are
You can pretty much race every night.
Yeah, pretty much race every
$60 a year.
night. Yeah, your races are
And with that, you get
broadcasted.
live broadcast, live RC.
Yeah.
You get to hear us and enjoy the banter of the drivers.
It's once in a blue moon we have a replay broadcast for reasons that might be beyond our control. But aside from that, our starting grid for tonight's race will be as follows. James Scott will start pole alongside Blake Wallboys on the front row of the grid. Harry Dodds, Ryan Mueller found themselves on the second row after the shootout with Billy Mull and Anthony Vismar for your top 6. Troy Stone Street, Will Brown for the top 8 with Jace Douglas. Making up the last of the drivers to set a time in the shootout. Lawford never got a time in, so he'll start P10 with Jamie Davis and Mick Clifton on the 6th row of the grid in behind them. Shane Randall, Andrew Cowan will start alongside each other with Steve Vella and Troy Dooley, Blake Urquhart, Alex McManus in behind them, Tim Mulford, Peter Pavlovic, John Gallen at the back end of the field as well. Our race controllers here this evening, Greg Leake, Tyson McAvoy and Sam Katakazinas as well. So big pressure for the drivers to get something out of this race. It's a long race as well. And it's one where the pressure gauge is at a absolute maximum.
I'm not sure what you mean by bring back the season pass, Steph, because these are season subscriptions.
I think she means the year subscription.
Nah, we found that it's better doing it this way. We just admin side of it's a lot easier to control who's done a season, who's done a full year. It just got really messy. So we're just leaving it at a season subscription. So every quarter there's a new subscription.
Adam Mueller saying if James Scott is clearly quicker than everyone else, should he be in the league? Well, it's open to anyone, and by having James in the series, he's obviously a big name. He's very fast. We'd love to get other fast guys out there. We mentioned it not too long ago.
It doesn't always win,
up. No, he doesn't always win.
Yeah.
Lights are going to come up, though. 80 minutes of racing to come our way at Mount Panorama Bathurst. As we get begun, that was a horrid start. We scramble towards turn 1, and 80 minutes begins there. I don't know where I pulled that from. But James Scott has rocketed away off the start line. Dodsey's gone with Warboys. He's already challenging him for P2 on the road as we rocket up the hill towards turn 2 for the first time. And we've gotten through turn 1 clean, but the problem now is, do we make it from turn 2 all the way to Forest Elbow clean? That is the real test.
Oh, it's the one. This is going to be it. Dodsey's got himself in a position where he's got a really fast guy and he's going to be driving out of his skin, and he just needs to keep it clean and not lose it. Oh, I tell you what though, Ryan Mueller, he's looking left and right. He looked a bit raggedy just then. I thought he was going to lose it.
He's trying to find a pathway round, but you've got to keep it in the back of your mind. Tattoo it under your eyelids. It's an 80-minute race. Plenty of time to find positions in this race. Peter put it perfectly. Blake Warboys, Rian Leonards, they're no slouches. They are top-level drivers as well that can bring it to James Scott week in and week out when they're up to
100%.
pace. It's about getting some of those other top-level drivers in the series. Your Zach Rattray White, your Kobe Williams, or
Plus, it
You
gives
know?
these guys someone to race to and aspire to, and
Exactly.
to race with these guys, for these guys below is amazing. It improves their level, and we've seen it. We've
Well,
seen Mueller, we've seen Billy Milestone Street improve like crazy. Vismar's not a slow character. He's back into racing. He's not slow at all. Lawford, all these guys have won races in this series before, so it's not his own way, and it causes some amazing racing out
Well, I saw a good thing today actually, and Big Cans just said then it's very true. The only way the grid gets faster is being on the grid with fast people. The reason this leads to my point is you can often find yourself if you get into sort of a comfortable or a sense of being comfortable, you will eventually begin to go backwards because you won't continue to try and improve. So if we make the field comfortable, the field eventually will never improve, and we'll just have it so that everyone anticipate. So we constantly want to give them we want to give them a challenge. We want to give them something to strive for. The only way that James can win the championship this season is if Blake Warboys does not finish on the podium in every round leading to the end. So he's actually had to come back from all this as Blake gets it up the inside of Harry at turn 2. Top level move.
clean. And Harry did well to stay stable too. He didn't really lose focus and jink around or anything.
He's playing the smart, clean game. Was it worth battling for it just yet? It's a longer race.
I've got Chase Douglas on the second screen. He's mid-back at the moment.
Hayden will have Stenny if he brings the broken steering wheel. How about that? If he brings his broken steering wheel for the camera, we'll have Stenny. But no, I mean, there's a multitude of quick drivers out there at a multitude of levels, and we just want the field to be challenged. And, you know, who wants racing to be comfortable, Sinker?
Yeah.
You know,
Vela is picking at the moment.
Yeah. So Vela, who struggled with some blinking during practice, still struggling with that blinking at the moment.
RC's monitoring at the moment because a few people have mentioned it, which is unfortunate. It's part of your gear, and you know, even when you go to move houses as a sim racer, one of the first things you do is what's my internet like in this area.
I think that would the process of you buying a house would be, what are the internet options of the local area that I want to move into, and then you can dictate where you buy based on that.
I did that.
Yeah.
I did that.
Yeah, it's like, okay, has this area already got fibre? Good. Has it got NBN?
Yeah.
Good. All right, that ticks that box. Are we in a good area? Yes or no? If it's a no, you don't move there. If it's a yes, then you see what you can find. So, you know, it's Peter Gretton. My saying in brackets, I'm going to say this verbatim: got to look shit to not be shit. That's exactly right. You know, you've got to look, you know, maybe a bit less than to actually be good. But sometimes as well, you got to look good to be good too. So it's about balance. Just running a ball with Visma then across the end of that lap. He's
207 is the fastest at the moment.
Yeah, so we're in race pace definitely for James at the front. At a 207.67. Warboys, who finally got past Harry Dodds, has now just started to try and eke out a little bit of a gap and chase down Scott again, but he's got to get some sevens on the board to cut that lead down that James made off the start line with a 2.7 seconds now. So Doddsy he may have played the financial gain for himself of financial in terms of gaining positions as Warboys scrapes the wall at Silman Park. But the issue is now for Doddsy, he's allowed James Scott to run away by just over 4 seconds. There's been contact in the background with John Gallen and Steve Vella down at the cutting.
There's a bit of a mess down there. There's a couple of cars.
That car is broken. I think he may need a tow.
Yeah.
That thing is cooked.
Vella's moving.
He is indeed. So
He's moving.
Is this an issue with the blinking once again? So this was up into the cutting, on board with Gallen. So on board with, oh no, Gallen just tried to shove it up the inside and Steve's kind of just squeezed him, so.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll see what race control say about it, because that is a tough moment. Lawford's also just had a moment as well, so we'll get that up on your screens in just a second.
Yep, he's just dropped a few places.
Yeah, this was the outside view of the Gallen
incident. Chasing him down. Oh, someone just touched that wall. Oh, even the back markers touched the wall as well there.
Yeah.
They're all trying to avoid. Come backwards and just missed those cars.
Yeah, and then this was Lawford. So this is down at the dipper. He had Jace Douglas in behind him. Has he made the mistake on his own? Oh, he has. He has made the mistake on his own.
He's glanced the wall. He's glanced the walls. He's come down that. Oh, he's held it. Oh, that is very, very close.
So,
all right, Jason cleared on that one.
Yeah.
The battle there. I'm going to go back to. I'm going to go back down to Mulford and the boys. Mulford and the band.
Mulford and Sons.
Mulford and Sons. Yep.
So the front few just trying to keep themselves in check, keep themselves nice and clean at the moment. The safety car has not been caught just yet.
There.
Vela has just made it back into pit lane, mind you. So he did make it back with that broken car. Here he is. Lawford's still going. He needs to come in, though, at some point and get this thing fixed up. Otherwise, he is just chewing time. Gallen, surprisingly, doesn't appear to have any damage on that car. So he just needs to try and push on now and keep this thing forward. McManus trying to stay in battle here with Pavlovic, Urquhart and Mulford. This is the battle that you got on your screen, Sinker, as we move our way through the field. Further up from them, Dooley trying to chase down his teammate Andrew Cowan, who's got Shane Randall a bit further up the road from him in the Infinity Motorsports car. Then there's Mick Clifton just outside of the top 10. Your top 10 at the moment, though, from 10th up is Jamie Davis to Jace Douglas, Will Brown, Anthony Visma, Troy Stonestreet, Billy Mole, Ryan Mueller, Harry Dodds, Blake Warboys, and James Scott leads the way at the moment.
I tell you what, this battle at the moment with Urky, Pav, and Mulford is a pretty good battle. These boys battle a lot amongst each other, and they get narky with each other as well. There's not much love lost between them, and they're having a blast down there. We're talking 3/10 between them. Alex McManus is on the back of these three too, so there's a great little run there.
And further up, we can see Mueller trying to get it done down the inside on Doddsy. Bit of a door through the chase. Doddsy trying to defend the inside, so they're getting a bit feisty early on up the front of the field here. And I think at this point of the race, Sinker, no matter what, you may just have to, put the ego aside a little bit, and just if someone's going for a low percentage move of the chase, better just to give it to them than to give up time and battle them.
Doddsy did well defending that. He really took the punt there and modulated the brakes and left it a little bit later, but to get back in front. So he's done real well. But great little battle here. Doddsy, Mueller, Mole, Stone Street, and Visma.
The back of Ryan Mueller at this stage. He's got Billy Mole hot on his heels. So these guys have been so hard to separate all throughout the Supercars seasons of 2025. Up to this point, they qualified around about each other at the start of this race. Mueller getting backed up by Dodds through turn 2. So Dodds maybe now playing the game of let's back him up, let him get attacked by Mole and Stone Street, and then run my way forward when he starts to get eaten alive. So he wants to put him into the piranha pit, but Mueller be hanging on for dear life to the edge of the tank.
Incident we saw earlier on, I think that was with Gallen and who was it? Steve Vella. No further action. It was most likely, by the sounds of it, there was contributing factors from both cars in there. One was probably in close, one probably closed the door. So it's deemed as a racing incident. A bit hard to tell from our perspective up here.
Yeah, the outside view, it looked like Gallen was alongside, as they were kind of entering the corner. So they would have broken it down though at a multitude of levels and
definitely.
And
who had
that's
rights here, who had rights there, who turned in, who gave space, who didn't give space.
Yeah, and maybe taking into account as well that Steve's. Yeah, maybe they took into account Steve's as well has been blinking, so maybe he was blinking for John at the time. I'm not sure, but
yeah, there's a lot of factors. But at the end of the day, I think it sounds like a bit of a 50-50, which deems neither driver more responsible than the other one, and brings it down to a racing incident.
Exactly right. So this battle, though, with inside the top sort of 7 cars on track, looks to continue on. Blake Warboys has unfortunately lost out a further 1.5 seconds to James Scott over the last few laps. He sits 4.2 seconds off the lead, but in a nice, clean position. This is good enough for the championship. He only needs to finish P2, as I said, in the next 7 rounds, including tonight. So plenty of points on offer for the rest of the
nice shot. He's got him a nice shot, which
he
is
can
good.
still see him, but he doesn't need to push for the win, especially at this point of the race. He can just continue to cruise on, take P2, and then push on to next round where, again, he only needs P2 in every round to win the title. So he's put himself in a solid position.
This bottom screen battle is going hell for leather. Urki has got a fair bit of pace here, but he just can't find that. You know, he's got that pace to be faster than him, but he hasn't got that pace at the moment, which is fast enough to pass him. So he's trying to get himself in a position where he can get in there underneath him, but he hasn't. He gets up close, and then the block is there, and he just can't get past it. So he just needs to wait for the pressure to build, and maybe an incident out of it, or maybe a missed brake marker or something. He's sitting about 2/10 most of the time.
As well, we ride on board with Jace Douglas, who's inside the top 10 at the moment. Still where he started in P9 on the road, in behind Will Brown. Neither of these guys have gained or lost positions in this race, but Will Brown running it wide at McPhillamy Park could make a difference. That Jace tried to send it, but just backed out at the last moment there. Probably a smart decision. You know, Will was always going to try and rejoin the track. You're going to try.
Will's got dirty tires here. He's going to get right up the back of him now and try to get the exit onto the straight as quick as possible and hard as possible.
Oh, he's just locked up
he's
as well.
He's also got Jamie on the back of him sniffing blood.
Yeah, Jamie Davis hot on the heels of this battle pack between Will Brown and Jace Douglas at this stage. Still plenty of racing to be had here tonight for these drivers.
As well, he's not going to have the best tyres coming through here.
No, may have scrubbed off a bit of that debris, but still he's going to be feeling the effects of it at this stage. So
yeah, it takes. I mean, at this sort of track, it'll take half a lap for them to be up to 100%. But the first few corners after that would have been very soggy tyres.
We run around the final corner. Yep, he's trying to stick with him and put the pressure on him at this point of the race. So we're just under 15 minutes into the start of the race here this evening, ladies and gentlemen. So there's been plenty of action thus far. A couple of cars in the wall, as we mentioned. Steve Vella, John Gallen and Angus Lawford all across the first lap were in the wall. John came out the betterment of the other two. Barely any damage on that car. Vella and Lawford were licking their wounds at the front end on their Phoenix Racing team and Project 36 cars respectively.
Bottom screen, Urki is not far from making a move. He's right up the back of him. He's taken on the inside. Up the hill, is he got enough to go sideways? No, he still just hasn't got enough to get into a dangerous position to make the error.
He doesn't want to force it. I don't think he doesn't want to send it at this point. He knows it's early. Not willing to he's not willing just to shoot the half and send it up the inside, because he knows that if he does that, it could end in absolute agony and tears for him, as well as for Tim. So he'll sit here for a little bit. He'll continue to apply the pressure and hope that he finds a chance. But Jace Douglas is... he poked the nose in at Skyline Sinker. And
yeah, he's living on the edge. Jason's ready, mate. Jason's ready to go for it. Urki's ready to go for it as well. He was a little bit of a mistake there by Milford, but not enough to open the doors.
I feel like
he must be feeling the pressure.
I feel like we could compare Jace Douglas akin to Aerosmith, because he is living on the edge for that one there, Sinker. I think he...
have a look at this exit. Look at Bolt. Look at Bolt. He's got Urki all over the back of him here. This could be his move. This could be his move as he comes down the bottom of the hill. He might make a move to the start of the chase. Will he be able to get in underneath him a little bit? Not quite. He's got... Oh, no. He's just... Oh, he's having a crack. He's on the inside of him. He's under brakes. He's got him on the inside. Pushed him out wide with a no overrun, and what a pass. Great move there. He's at the speed. He's just been held up. That was a fantastic bit of movement there. Both drivers very safe and very clean.
Yeah, great job from Tim. Gave him plenty of room. Knew that he was alongside before the corner and just lived to fight another day. So that was a smart move there from Tim and a great move from Blake.
He won't let that go. Don't worry. Tim's going to just return that favour now. He's going to be tagging him all the way up the hill as much as he can.
Well, so is Jace Douglas on the heels of Will Brown at this stage.
Jamie Davis on the back of Jace as well.
Yep. So this little battle pack has begun to fill up to 3 cars now. The more they battle, the more that Mick Clifton and Shane Randall may begin to chase them down and get in on this action. And, you'll blink and it'll go from a triple threat to a fatal 4-way to a little 5-pack challenge. In the span of maybe even only a couple of laps, Sinker. That's how quickly it can start to form the more that these cars battle on track.
Yeah. I'm going to go to James Scott just to see if we can hear if he's doing some fuel saving out there at the moment, because he just did his best lap is a 2:07. He did a 2:08. He was doing 2:07s, and now he's dropped it back to 2:08.
Well,
So
I think he knows. I mean, he's got a 5-second
Blake
gap.
dropped back a lot earlier.
Yeah.
So Blake dropped out about as soon as he got to a second. James got a second ahead of him. Blake dropped down to 2:08s, and has been sitting around a 2:08s pretty much through. James kept going, but now he's dropped back to the 2:08 as well. So let's get back, and I'll see if I can hear the cockpit sound from Mr. Scott and see how his fuel saving's going.
Let us know how he's fuel saving at this stage. Jace Douglas is still trying to get past Will Brown. He's not quite been able to find the spark that he needs to get this thing past him. Let's see if he's visibly frustrated at this point. Doesn't seem it. He's still very stoic, still very calm, cool, collected. Just needs to bide his time and continue to apply the pressure and see if Will makes a mistake at some point across the next sort of 10 minutes or so before the first pit stop.
He's sounding very smooth. I can't see any off throttle or rolling at this point. His gear changes are not aggressive, but he's hitting on the red lines. Yeah, he's not overly thrashing the pants out of the car.
I think he's in cruise control, I think, for James. Yeah. He's got a good gap, doesn't need to push too hard, just a nice leisurely Sunday drive and try and get to your pit stop. I think that's what he's doing. That's what Blake's doing at this point as well. Doddsy will still be feeling the pressure from Ryan Mueller up ahead. And for Douglas, I mean, he is pushing hard to try and get this thing past Will Brown at this stage.
He's smooth, and this guy's smooth. I'll start seeing colour paints.
Are you just mesmerised by James Scott and sitting on board with him?
I'll tell you what, I could watch the cockpit cam of James Scott and Blake Warboys for the whole race. These guys are really something special. The way they drive, the smoothness, the gear changes, you can just hear it. It's synchronized every time. They know exactly what RPM to drop it down in. It's just not random. Like if I was out there, it'd be just random, like bang, 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 bang. These boys are right on the same rev. You can hear it like a melody. They're dropping the gears down at the same RPM each time, and it's spectacular to watch.
Well, Jace Douglas just then tried to send it up the inside at Forest Elbow. Wasn't quite close enough to get it past Will Brown. In fact, actually locked a brake into the corner as he wants this move, but he can't quite get there yet. And I'm feeling a bit of deja vu right now, Sinker, from back at the Tuesday series when we were here. And we all know how that ended for Jace down at the Chase. So hopefully he's learnt from that experience. I was poet, didn't even know it. Hopefully he's learnt from that experience, and now he's going to reapply the learnings to push forward in this one and not push too hard too early.
Look, this young lad has, when he first came onto the scene at SRW, he was in the walls, he was driving aggressively, he was doing silly mistakes. As a driver, in the last 6 months, he's matured massively.
Yeah.
Massively. His racecraft has improved. His skill set's improved. His decision making is improved. He's not driving in. If it's not on, it's not on. He still has a couple of snaps here and there. He's a young guy. He's a racer. So sometimes you just got to go for it, yeah? But hats off. He's been one of the biggest improvers. Not up to the levels of Billy Mole and Mueller just yet, but as far as progress, he is one of the biggest progressors I've seen for a while.
Yeah, he's definitely made the moves forward.
That's a slab, right?
Yeah, you got to sell Jace. You got to sell him to the people. But I mean, you could make comparisons between Jace and guys like even Billy Mole or Andrew Cowan and how they've progressed through the seasons and to where they've gotten now from where they came. And the progression level, I mean, it takes time. It takes pure seat time to find this level of pace in these cars or in any other racing cars for that matter. And that's the sort of commitment they made. Pushing it hard, though, through Forest Elbow. Sees Jace scrape the wall on exit. Now Jamie Davis can smell blood in the water. He is sat in the rearview mirrors of the Stealth Sim Sports car for the last 5 laps of this race. And right now, I think Jace can feel the pressure.
Yeah, well, Vizzy's caught the back of Stone Street now, so that battle pack now from third. Harry Dodds, Ryan Mueller, Billy Bowles, Stone Street, Visma has got a great little battle pack going.
So Visma hot on the heels. Urquhart has now finally gotten past Troy Dooley as well, further back in the field as well.
Ray, the old boys had 6 cans so far. Oh man, Fano won't hurt you, you'll be right. I'm not sure if how many of them do paddle shifts. Wouldn't have a clue. It's only when we see them on cam that we can tell you that. But yeah, I'm sure a lot of them still have shifters out there. A lot of them go out there with the jigs. Harry Dodds does paddle shift.
Yeah, I think from time to time Blake does paddles as well.
Yeah. I've got Ray. Oh, that was close. Oh, that nearly came in a bit of a ding dong there with Harry and Ryan.
Stephen Banks saying Dodsy the cork in the bottle. Glad my bottle doesn't have a cork. Well, you know, screw tops or cans may be beneficial for you, but Dodsy is really holding up these 4 cars.
What's the tip of the goon bag called?
The spout? I don't know.
The spout. Harry the spout.
It's kind of a spout. Oh.
He's a Geelong boy. He's a coastal boy. He'd be in the good bag.
Oh, surely, or a nice pale ale of some kind. Shane Randall has just had a moment, and he is in the wall at Skyline at the bottom of the hill.
I think Dodgy's listening to us because he's having a giggle.
So what has happened to Shane? Oh, it was when it blinked as well. So it blinked. And then he's caught the curb on entry, keeping off the wall.
Oh, yes.
Nope.
Oh, no, we've got to have a safety car here or what?
No, he's still moving.
He's in a bad spot.
Yeah, he's still moving. He pulled it up into the escape road to turn it around.
Smart boy, come up here, drop the... and turn it. Oh, he hasn't even got the power to spin it.
That's what we do. We develop smart drivers, Sinko. Get it out of the way. I meant me, because he's my driver, but still... So that'll be a good souvenir for a fan out there to cop the front bar of that Mustang. So James Scott leads the way, 6.4 seconds at the moment over Blake Warboys, who, well, I think Stephen's right. Dodsy is a bit of a cork in the bottle, or as you said, a spout in the goon bag, because it's now 11 and a half seconds is the gap between Dodsy and Warboys.
We all love to give Dodsy a bit. You know why? Because he can take it. He never complains. He never says, Sinko, you've hurt my feelings. But you know what? He also gives it to me as well. He gives me heaps, especially when he's in the YouTube chat. And that's all cool. We love it. We love it. But look at these boys go. They're flying around. Dodsy was listening, mate. I could see the smile on his face.
For sure. For sure he was listening.
If there's anyone out there you people want to see, let us know, because we've been sharing it around as much as possible. We are at the 25-minute mark, so we've had an absolute ripper of a night so far. These boys in the battle pack have got here are very, very close. James Scott is still sitting at 208s, so is Warboys. So they're into their own fuel-saving strategies at the moment. The boys underneath are all 209s and 210s, all the way down the field up to 14th at Mulford. After that, they just a couple of 12s, but all pretty much sitting on 210s, so not a bad pace all round.
No, it's good pace, good average pace for the field. Jaden Green's finally in the chat with us to fire up P36 fans out there, but Dodsy is under immense pressure right now. If you're Visma, Stone Street and Mole, you're loving it though, because you're saving so much fuel at this point, sitting right behind Dodsy and Ryan as they continue their battle. But they are absolutely probably also feeling stressful because they're trying to get past, but Ryan has just not been able to get the thing past the Project 36 Camaro of Harry Dodds.
Yeah, we were talking about Urky's pace earlier on and his battle he had with Mulford. Well, once he did get past Mulford, he has pulled away. Now he's become Andrew Cowan's nemesis. He's on the back of Cowan. He's got there 3/10, 2/10, putting a lot of pressure on. So he's going to be battling across through there big time.
Yep, so I can see as well, Jace Douglas has finally gotten past Will Brown through all this as well, Sinker. So let's have a quick look at how Jace got this job done. Because we saw he was fighting hard to get it through. He got it done at turn 1. It was a good move from Jace, actually. He did well.
Nice move. Oh, I'll tell you what, Urki and Cowan have gone through the... Oh, my God, that was close. The boys left and right, side by side, they're coming through. Whew. That's going to be a battle to watch for a few hours, for the next 20 minutes at least. Ryan would be saving a heap of fuel, playing it cool, smart he is. Yeah.
Cowie is feeling the pressure from Blake Urquhart at the moment of Pacific Esports Racing. It's PSR versus PER. And,
that was so close.
That was so close.
You've got at the bottom camera, you've got the cockpit view of the same race at the moment. That's what Urki's going through, and that's what Cowie's feeling from behind.
And what Cowie will be hoping for in this little PSR and PER battle is that the PRT car of Tim Mulford can get up on the back of Urkowitz, which it has now.
He has. He was 1.7 seconds before away, and he's caught them up. So it's going to put pressure now. And Mulford's going to be smelling the blood in the water, mate. It's going to be chum. Cowie chum and Urquhart chum. So he's going to be there, raring to go.
Urquhart fought for so long to get past Tim Mulford. As Mole and Stone Street are into the pit, so they're sick of sitting behind Ryan Mueller and Harry Dodds. They've come in maybe a lap early to try and undercut. This could be smart strategy as we run on board through the chase. On board with Cowie and on board with Urquhart. Mulford lurking in the background. Urquhart not quite able to get it in just yet. We'll see how this battle continues on. Do any of them pit to try and undercut the others? We'll have to wait and see. Urky's in. That was a very late entry, actually.
You said that last wiggle.
Yeah.
Mulford's having a look at... He's seen the blood on Cowie. Cowie's just had a bit of a release, thinking, oh, I'm all good. Release of tension in his sphincter. And then all of a sudden, Mulford's there ready to pounce on him.
That was a very, very late turn in there from Urky. I hope he didn't catch that line, because if he did, he may get a dangerous pit entry.
I've got him on the cans at the moment. He's in there. Let's see. It doesn't look like he's gone up yet.
No, he has. As Mulford on the inside of Cowie at turn 2. Doors in wide a little bit, but gets it through in the end. So Mulford now passed. Dodsy's still under pressure from Ryan Mueller at this stage. No penalty for Urquhart, as he now looks to leave pit lane.
Done well. Yep. Done well. He's on the way out. First of our first few pit stops, so it's good to see there's a few alternate strategies happening here.
They're going slightly early to try and compound it.
That was not a bad idea of the WKMP boys going in early. If they can get up the field enough, they could try to block Scotty.
So they've
slow him down.
I don't know if they can, because
I don't think they're far enough.
No, they're a minute and 5 seconds off the back of him. There's no way they're going to be able to get there. So it's this is more or less to try and get past Mueller and Dodds. The more laps that Mueller's in, so he's looking to cover that undercut and maybe undercut Dodds himself. Visma's in as well. So they're trying to cover the undercut of Mole and Stone Street.
Watch the entry. That could cost you a lot of time if you stuff that up.
So Dodds has stayed out on his lonesome. So let's keep an eye now on Billy Mole and Troy Stone Street and where they end up in comparison to Ryan Mueller and Anthony Visma. Mick Clifton into pit lane as well. As we run through the chase with Billy Mole in the Super Cheap Auto entry of WKMP Sim Sports. Dooley, Mulford, McManus all into pit lane as well. So a multitude of cars, a gaggle of cars, if you will, coming through pit lane. Angus Lawford has still not fixed that Project 36 car, mind you. He's still driving around with a broken front end at this point of the race. But as Billy Mole comes past pit lane,
it's probably going to cost you too much time to go through.
Ryan Mueller's only just exiting pit lane. Mole got him. So did Stone Street. Oh, actually, this is going to be tight with Mueller. Where's Mueller? There he is there. There's Stone Street. It's a drag race up the hill for Stone Street and Mueller. He got him. So the undercut has
Good
worked.
little undercut. He hasn't left it. Let it go. Yeah, he's got to come
no,
across.
He hasn't. But Stone Street's got that inside line.
Just.
Well, the fuel tank's limited, Pete. So I think it's like 70% that we limit it to or something, isn't it, Sinker?
Yeah,
so
like that. Yep.
It gets you a bit less. But they actually have a bigger fuel tank than the Gen 2 cars at 100% capacity. They can store 133 litres, so that might get you maybe 30 laps in a regular stint around here in the Gen 3 car. James Scott's in as well. So Scott's in. Not under pressure from anyone, though, to get past in pit lane. Just has to have a nice, safe entry, does so. Warboys is going to follow him. Does Dodds follow them, or does he keep on going? Because you have a feeling that Billy Mole, with this undercut, may actually get past Doddsy as well. He's going to come into pit lane. So now we're going to keep an eye on this for Billy Mole again, because he's going to come around Forest Elbow. He's a couple of seconds back on Doddsy coming into the lane. Yeah, so Mole was a couple of seconds back of entering Forest Elbow comparatively to when Ryan Mueller was coming through pit lane.
The whole top half of the field's going through.
Yep.
Will Cowan go through, or will he go out try to do one of his fuel saving?
Surely not. Surely he's gone for the safe bet of pitting now.
Well, let's have a go. Never underestimate Cowan.
There you go. Yep, Banksy's saying around 30 to 32 laps. So yeah.
Yeah.
6 or 7 stops most likely for the 1,000. Cowie stayed out, so he's going for an extra lap.
Told ya.
Here comes Billy Mole. Doddsy is still up. This is going to be so close between Dodds and Mole. Dodds is still up. He's only just dropped. Mole's got him.
Yeah.
And he's got him by a fair way. That's a good undercut strategy there from Billy Mole. So Mole got him. Stone Street didn't. And all of a sudden, we've now had a bit of a reshuffle in this battle for P3 on the road. Mole now provisional P3. Dodds P4. Stone Street P5. And Mueller P6. Visma lost out a huge chunk from them.
Yeah, he has. But it's interesting to see James Scott and Billy Mole and Blake Warboys. Only 5/100ths difference in time in the pits. That's it. 31.10, 31.05. So very, very close.
And look at who's right behind Cowie. He went a lap longer, and look who's right there. Blake Warboys is right on his tail.
There.
He's always like, you know, Cowie.
It's actually not a bad thing, because he's probably going to get a bit of drag there from Cowie, even though he's not that far ahead. It might give you enough drag to get him and give him a slingshot down the straight, and off he goes. Doddsy will be on a big fuel save. Yeah, he was. Look, Dodsy's pit was 27.33. Ryan Mueller's a 28.05, which was a lap earlier too, so it's not too bad.
Billy Moles was a 25.9, so he was obviously saving at a maximum in behind the battle.
Yeah.
As Warboys is going to get this thing past Cowie.
Warboys going past. Cowie won't be silly and try to fight this.
No, he won't. He'll let him have it. Smart play from Cowie. Let's see. Does Cowie go another lap? He's not going to get. He's not going to get a one stop in this race, but is he going to go another lap?
If I put the drag of Warboys in front of me, I would go the extra lap.
He doesn't have the fuel though. That's the issue. He doesn't have the fuel to do that. So he's had to come.
Let's see where he comes out. That'll be interesting. Who was he in front of before? He was
around about. He was around Tim Mulford. Was where Cowie was earlier. Where is Mulford? He's at the back. Has he had a penalty? He has. I reckon he had a speeding and pit lane penalty. He has indeed.
Ooh, he's in there for a minute.
A minute and 7 seconds. So he's had he's had either a speeding and pit lane or an unsafe entry penalty for Tim Mulford.
He was being chased down by Urquhart when he went in.
Yeah.
So that's around 12th, 13th position.
Yep.
Let's see where he goes. Gallen went in at lap 10. He went a bit early, so he could have undercut there as well. Here we go. Where's Cowie going to come out?
So Urquhart's just coming down Main Straight now. Cowie's still in the pit box. It's a longer stop for Cowie than it was for Urquhart. Cowie's going to fill that thing up to the absolute brink. He has. So Urquhart's come out ahead of him, which makes sense. So did Gallen. Does Dooley come past?
That extra 2 laps has cost Cowie 4 places.
Yeah, but what it means is he's not going to need as much fuel when he comes in for his next stop.
Yep.
So that's where the gain's going to be, is he'll get a couple of seconds back off his next stop. He's come out alongside his teammate Alex McManus and in behind his other teammate Troy Dooley. So there is now some team game that can be played here, Sinker, where they can start to fuel save together, but they have got Steve Vella and Peter Pavlovic chasing them down at this stage of the race as well. Further up,
I'm really surprised. I'm really surprised the team game hasn't been more prevalent tonight.
It's unfortunately it's never really seems to happen in these sorts of races. I don't know why. I think maybe it's just the style of racing. It just doesn't really ever lead to it. We don't normally see it on Tuesdays unless it's right at the front of the field and they're trying to work together. Like Mole and Stone Street coming in together, that was a bit of team play, but you don't really ever see it when it's for the minors. It's normally only up the front.
Yeah. Oh, look at this, the bottom screen. Oh, Dooley. Harry Dodds has just made a nice little pass on Billy Mole.
Mole may be frustrated now because he worked so hard to get back past Dodds through the pit stop, but now Dodds is back on him again and now gotten past. So this is going to be an ebbing and flowing battle all throughout the rest of this race.
Dodds, he's got Billy Mole, Ryan Mueller, Troy Stone Street all on the back of him again, and he's sitting in third place. So there's a four-way battle for third place at the moment. I think it's as far as it's concerned, James Scott and Blake Warboys will have the two major honours. That's unless something goes wrong on a pit entry or a back marker gets in the way or something like that. We saw a back marker rotate in front of Dylan DeBono on Thursday night and took him out of second position.
Well, if you recall back to Phillip Island, Sinker, where Doddsy took that win, and it was taking advantage of a safety car and taking advantage of some strategy calls. You know, that's what got him the win and what got a 1-2 finish for that team on that circuit. That's still in play tonight. That can still happen where we get a misplay of strategy from some drivers or a misplay on a safety car call and then all hell can break loose. So there's still plenty of racing to go. We're not even at the halfway point just yet. We're only a couple of minutes away from that. But there's still a lot of racing to come for these drivers. Still a lot of on-track time, a lot of laps left. Plenty of opportunity for a safety car to get called. Further back in the field, we've got this nice tight battle at this stage of Peter Pavlovic hot on the heels of Steve Vella and now hot on the heels of Alex McManus as well. So these guys have now started to sort of materialise into a little three-way battle pack. We'll see how that starts to form later on in the race. Andrew Cowan still trying to chase down his teammate Troy Dooley. McManus may be trying to play rear gunner at the moment though for those two, Sinker, where he's holding off both Vella and Pav and giving Cowie and Dooley an opportunity to run away from them at this stage.
Well, there's a lot of points up for grabs, that for sure. There's not from just the top of the field, but the bottom of the field as well. They'll be all fighting for the little bits and pieces. But I tell you what, Peter Pav is really attacking the curves here, isn't he?
He's attacking them like it's nobody's business. He's really you know what? He's punching on with them more than a central.
Car looks really low at the front compared to the other two.
I think is it? No, well, the other two are the Mustangs, so that might just be the car itself and how it sits. But, you know, he's attacking the curbs at this point. Lawford's beginning to chase them down as well. Vella's still blinking ahead of them, so race control.
I've got the race leader on the bottom cam to give him some stream time.
Nah, screw him. He shouldn't be so good.
And then we'll go to Mr. Warboys, because the rest of the boys are getting a fair bit of love all the way up and down the field. I'll tell you what, Vizzy's been away for a while. I'll tell you what, he's having a good run. He may be down one spot, but showing some good pace. There's a few boys out there that have... John Gallen is up 8 places now after the first load of pit stops.
Yeah.
Done really well. He's behind his teammate Urquhart, but he's 7 seconds off the pace there. He's owned a little race at the moment. He's just in cruise control, doing really well.
So we'll see how this now pans out for Gallen, because he came in early on lap 10, roughly around that 20-minute mark. They're still going to need one more stop to get home in this race. It's always a 2-stopper in the 80-minute race. It's how long can you go? You've got to make it to 50 minutes to get home on the fuel. Your more beneficial stop is if you get to the hour, because then it's a shorter pit stop. So that's where the aim is now for these drivers. And at this point as well...
Again.
Yes.
What happened to Angus Lawford? Did he have an incident? Didn't he? He hit a wall?
He hit the wall.
That's right.
Up at Forest Elbow.
He has been unlucky as well of late.
He has.
He's been through the wars on a Sunday night.
Right now, he is closing in on the back of this battle with Peter Pavlovic Steve
Correct.
Vella and
He's
Alex
hunting them down.
McManus. He is hunting them down. And he is hot on the heels of it too. We know that Lawford's got pace. He was unlucky in the top 10 shootout to cop that minor 0x for scraping the wall up at the top of the hill. I reckon, Sinker, there should be an option in when setting up a qualifying session in iRacing where you can say wall taps for 0x do not finish the lap. It's when you get it off track that should disallow the lap. Because if you're scraping the wall,
I think a wall tap's a bit harsh.
Yeah, wall taps are real harsh.
Yeah, because if anything, a wall tap can slow you down by grabbing you and slowing you down a bit. So it's not like you're doing it off track and you're gaining an advantage. It's actually the wall tap is disadvantage you. So an X on top of that, I think that hurts.
Well, as we continue on, we've now ticked over the halfway point of this race, 42 minutes and 15 seconds into proceedings at this point. We are just under 8 minutes away from the critical minutes of the race where drivers can come into pit lane and get home. Vella,
here we go, another pity.
He's coming in very early. This is very early for Steve. Mind you, he had a very short pit stop on his first stop fixing the car. He's managed to go to 42 minutes, but he's definitely going to need another stop to get home. There's no way he can get home.
Yeah. You'd want to try to make it 35 minutes left, somewhere around there, and take it from there. I'll swap my camera to Mr. Warboys while you've got Mr. Scott on there, so we can see the two race leaders at the moment and where they are on track.
So Dodsey, though, still in battle with Billy Mole, Ryan Mueller and Troy Stonestreet. Now, we predicted that we'd get around about half an hour at the midpoint of this race where we get into that sort of, we call it the lull period. It's the period where drivers are trying to get to their final pit stop, keep their cars clean and then push on to the end. This battle pack, if they come out as close as they are, if not closer, Sinker, from this final pit stop, this is going to be the one to keep an eye on. This is where the meat and potatoes are of the Sunday roast, because these guys are going to be going at it tooth and nail to try and get this final podium position as Ryan Mueller wants it up the inside of Billy Mole. Billy Mole's been forced off track, and that'll be a slowdown for Billy. We'll have to see what race control say if he calls it in. Stonestreet's going to get past him as well.
He hasn't called it in yet.
He slotted him behind his teammates. Let's have a look what's happened to Billy here and how this has materialized between them. So Ryan looks to come past. There's no contact. He's just run it wide, trying to give him room. So maybe he gets a bit spooked there.
Yeah, that was a bit. I like Peter's saying. I actually watched NASCAR have changed that rule now, where there was a driver, one of the NASCAR events, and he said he was like 4 or 5 cars back. He dropped the F-bomb and he goes, I'm going to put the wall and let the gods control the rest of this race, whether I make it or not. And he's just rimmed the wall all the way around the final 2 corners and come out into second place, just missed first place. It was pretty spectacular. I believe NASCAR has changed that rule. You can't rim the wall all the way around.
No, you can't wall ride anymore because it gives you an advantage. So they've
that
disallowed
was spectacular.
that.
The car was toast at the end.
Of
But
course.
I tell you what, for the last half a lap, the way he rode that wall all the way around was pretty spectacular. The crowd was going nuts.
I tell you what,
But
Dodsey, just quickly, Dodsey's been given a lifeline now, just a little one. When Mueller went for that pass on Molt, it's actually allowed Dodsey to build up just above a second on this gap. So Mueller is now without tow range on Harry Dodd. So he actually has to try and catch him across the top or down the mountain to try and get that tow range once again.
Angus Lawford, while we were talking about that, has passed Peter Pav, and now he's on top, on the back of Alex McManus, working his way through. So he's got McManus now in 2 attempts at the moment. He's going to try to dispatch him sooner than later, because then he's going to hunt down Andrew Cowan and work his way back through the field.
I don't know if he can make it to the front without a safety car, but if he can make it back to the top 10, that would be a win for Angus Lawford. He started P10 in this race, so if he can get back to where he was, it's at least not a net loss on the race. It just means he has no net gains on the race across the 80 minutes. There's still 35 minutes to go, under 35 minutes to go. We're getting closer and closer to critical minutes. on the time to get home with a pit stop. So we could start to see some undercut action happening from some drivers, where they come in right on 50 or just after, where they know they can get home on fuel and they try and get themselves some clean air out on track.
Yeah, we're at the, 45, 44 minutes, 43-minute mark, 43 minutes left. Pete, I think it was Chastain. That name does ring a bell. It was on YouTube. I was watching some on YouTube. I watch all this crazy racing stuff on YouTube all the time. But yes, I believe it might have been. It was pretty spectacular. I'll give McManus another half a lap before Lawford gets around him. Because he's ripping it.
I reckon he'll get him turn 2.
Here we go. Look at that run out he got. Look at that.
He's
He got a beautiful exit out of that corner. He backed off a little bit on him and got that exit and maintained the pace through. And he's got him on the inside there. And now, next on his list to tick off and put a stamp on the side of his car is Cowan.
Yep, so now he has to chase down 2.3 seconds up to Andrew Cowan. Billy Mole gets back past his teammate Troy Stone Street. Now will look to chase down Ryan Mueller, who's got that gap to under a second to Harry Dodds. So these guys are going to start battling. That's going to allow Mole and Stone Street back into it as well. Smart play from Dodds, maybe. Just undercut all 4 of them, come in early, block the tow range for Ryan.
Yeah, it's going to be interesting to see where his next pit stop's going to be. Ryan Mueller was on the jacks for half a second longer than Harry, and Ryan went into the lap before, so it's going to bring their strategy pretty much on the same lap, I reckon.
Yeah, and Billy Mole was about 3 seconds slower, or 3 seconds faster, sorry. So he's roughly had a litre less put into the car. So we'll see how that now pans out over the next stop as well. Urquhart's had a minor off track. He's kept the car going though. Further back in the field, nothing to report on that one.
I'm going to switch to Jamie Davis and Jace Douglas and Will Brown. These guys are still battling on across there. Will Brown is just holding on to the back of Jamie Davis. Onto the back of Jace Douglas.
Plenty of moves to be made for these drivers, and plenty of opportunities for them as well to continue battling for points. Continue battling for position in this championship standings as well. As Doddsy continues to lead Mueller, who's hot on his heels once again. So Mueller, who's been the rising star alongside Billy Mole over the last year of Sunday and Tuesday Supercars, continues to impress us at the front of the field in this battle for P3 with Harry Dodds. Mueller, who
that's
put it...
Doddsy you're looking at right now.
Yep. Mueller, who put it inside the top 10 shootout in P3 in provisional qualifying, lost P3 to Dodds through the top 10 shootout efforts and through the running of the shootout as well. Randall's in for his final stop of the race, so he gets to critical minutes and now looks to run the car home from this final stop of the race.
Biggest mover tonight so far is John Gallen. Bit of an unsung hero, up 8 places.
As Mueller continues to try and hang on to the back of Doddsy. He's got the pace. It's whether he can get past the wide wall that is the back of Dodd's car. The
There's
focus.
One thing to have the pace to keep up with the car. There's another thing to have the pace to pass a car.
I'll tell you what.
You need another 10 to 15 kilometres down a straight to do something. He's got to be really close on the exit here, or back it off a little bit and get a faster exit out.
Tell you what, Doddsy looking
What we saw Lawford do.
Doddsy looking as calm as ever right now. He's definitely got a little half stink face going, but he's not. He's awake. He's awake. He's just. He's cruising.
To him.
He's just cruising.
I think Mum just asked him, "Do you want dinner?"
Yeah.
And he's just around. No, just give me a bit of. Just give me a chop now while I'm fanging along the straight.
No, he's just like, "Can you wait? I've got someone hot on my heels at the moment." He doesn't want to try and push too hard. So he knows that Mueller's there, but he's just trying to drive his own race, keep himself in check, and keep himself in a positive position. Mick Clifton into pit lane as well.
Clifton's just gone in. Yep. Cliffy's going in.
So how hard does Mueller battle him, or does he try and undercut? Does he try?
I think it's a battle at the moment. They're both pretty much on the same sort of pace at the moment. You're looking at Mueller and Billy Mole and Harry Dodds all doing 209s. Dodds' last one was a 5.5, but Mueller was a 1.64, and behind them, Billy Mole's on a 1.36. So they're all lapping around the same sort of time. Oh, hang on, what was that?
Oh, someone's just been over the radio.
Someone said something about, does someone have a problem? Not sure who it was, but have a look at this bottom screen. These boys are going rampant here. Jamie Davis got a lot of pressure from Jace Douglas. Jace Douglas is just sitting on the back of him, hovering from one mirror to the left mirror. And Will Brown's doing the same thing to him. These boys are very close, waiting for one of them to drop their spuds.
Mueller is all over Harry Dodds right now. Like he has got him hook, line, and sinker. Pardon the pun on that one there, sinker. Trying to light him up for a move at the moment. He's got him in the line of sight.
Yep.
I have a feeling that Mueller may get him in the pit stop, especially if he goes for an undercut. That may be the best opportunity here for Ryan. Get the undercut done, get into some clean traffic, and just push on forward. If he actually were to pit now, he'd probably end up behind his teammate Blake Urquhart and ahead of his other teammate John Gallen, where they can start to work together to give Ryan some toe to let him pull himself forward and gain some on-track position.
Sorry, mate. Angus is just about to make a go at Cowan.
He's just done that.
Right on the back, and we're talking 6/10.
There he is there through the chase. Urquhart's in the pit lane, so that ruined that plan for Ryan Mueller. So Urquhart's in. Lawford now gets past Andrew Cowan, so there's some moves further back in the field. There's some moves further up in the field as well. Davis has still got Douglas and Brown hot on his heels. Blake
they
Warboys.
have not given up an inch.
No, they haven't. They haven't at this point. I'm going to
So
give.
Urky's gone in a bit early. Who was he behind when he went in?
He was behind Will Brown, but he wasn't hot on him. So he was.
He had that effect, that second move. So the second pit stops we expect starting to come now. We've got about 27 minutes left, so we'll see a lot of the boys coming through shortly.
This will realign a lot of the strategies, and this will realign everyone back together again as well. So
most guys went either at lap 10 or lap 15. So you're looking at now, the guys that went at lap 10 should be coming in about now. The guys that went at lap 15 probably got another, if they short filled it as a reverse, they're probably coming in soon as well. So around at lap 28.
So Mueller maybe on the fuel save at the moment. Doddsy probably in the same boat, maybe trying to get a couple of extra laps out of this fuel tank to try and limit the fuel intake. On the stop, Mueller's in for the undercut. So Mueller's in. He's sick of sitting behind Dodds. This is now where the strategy is at a maximum for Ryan Mueller. Needs the pit entry to be perfect. Mole and Stone Street come past and Dodds continues on. All the battle for the podium at this stage. To give you the update on the leaders, James Scott is currently a lap ahead of 2 cars on track, Shane Randall and Steve Vella at this point. Blake Warboys has also passed both of them to put himself a lap ahead. Warboys has got 10.9 seconds up to James Scott ahead of him. Behind him to Harry Dodds, who's got 21.4 seconds at this stage. Doddsy has got Billy Mole 1.4 seconds behind, as Mueller is still in the pit lane. He's coming out now. 16.98 seconds stop.
Yep. John Gallen's in there at the moment as well, so he's come in behind him.
So Mueller comes out in a breath of fresh air.
Yeah, he's got 9 seconds behind Brown, so he's got a lot of fresh air. He's got no pressure behind him as well. Troy Dooley's behind him with 19 seconds, so he's got to go do his own thing, work his tyres in, get them all up to temp, and off you go. While we're doing all that, Jace Douglas is putting a hell of a lot of pressure here on Jamie Davis. He's down to 1/10 at one point, and Angus Lawford is already on the back of Troy Dooley. So it won't be too long before that changes as well.
Yeah, Lawford is hot on the heels of Troy Dooley at this stage of the race. Mueller was lucky to come out ahead of them through that pit stop as well. I'm good, thanks, Mitch. Thank you for asking. Sinkovic is asking how everyone's doing on this fine evening.
We are delightful, young fella. We are having the time of our lives with a enduro at Bathurst. What more could you ask for on a Sunday night?
So Douglas has not quite yet been able to make the move on JD, just up ahead of him. Brown is in behind, just lurking, waiting for his opportunity to strike. And Douglas has been trying to line this up for a multitude of laps. As they come down Conrod straight towards the chase, Dodds is in pit lane.
I'll go into Dodds. I'll follow him into the pits.
Visma's in as well. Douglas tries to send it round the outside at the chase on Jamie Davis. Davis has to give it to him. And now Douglas is through. Where is Ryan Mueller? He's coming through the chase now. So this is going to be... Yeah, this is going to be close. This is going to be close between Mueller and Dodds.
Dodds is in.
He was hot on him prior to the pit stop.
Vizzy's in there as well. Vizzy's right behind him. He's up.
So it was 16.98 seconds for Mueller on the stop. Any more than that and Doddsy will lose the position. Dodds is still up.
Here he comes.
Mueller's going to get him.
Oh,
he's got him.
He's not going to make it.
And he's got him by a lot as well.
He's got him by a lot.
Couple of seconds. So saved enough fuel. Only needed 16.98 seconds. Call it 17 seconds. It's 2.3 seconds per. 2.3 liters per second that gets filled into the car.
Yeah.
So
Harry was
you
up
do the
there
maths.
for nearly 3 seconds longer.
Yeah.
And that cost him.
Yep. And it's cost him big
in a big
time.
way.
Big time. It cost him 3 seconds on track. If he had pitted for the same amount of time that Ryan did, he actually would have come out of pit lane directly beside him, and it would have been a drag race up the hill.
Yep.
So that is...
Lawford has just dispatched Dooley, so he's on his way up. McManus has gone past Cowan.
Maybe some team strategy between them as well.
Billy Mole and Troy Stonestreet have done a very big team move there. They're still out there. They're still beside each other.
As we run towards Forest Elbow, Jace Douglas, who finally dispatched Jamie Davis on the last lap at the chase, will lead him down Conrod Straight. Douglas is nowhere near close. Davis is nowhere near close enough to make the move. And Brown is just hanging back as well. So some fuel saving probably happening in the performance. The Phoenix Racing Team car. Will Brown. I've just seen Andrew Cowan have been off circuit. He's kept it going. I reckon it was a minor off track up at McPhillamy Park, possibly running it a bit wide into the sand. So let's see what's happened in this wild run. Oh, yep, exactly that. Into the train tracks that were put down by Will Brown earlier in the race. So very, very lucky.
Matty Filton, you're always willing, always taking on new drivers, mate. www.simracingworld.com.au, mate. That's where you get your subscription and Discord details. Then you just join us for a run when you're ready. We've tapped out a few. We've still got the top 8 cars that still need to pit. So that's when the strategies are going to trial it, change a little bit here and there. Not a hell of a lot's going to change at the front. Those boys have got it in the bag. We've got James Scott, Blake Warboys ahead of the field by 24 seconds. Billy Mole, teammates of Warboys and Stone Street, have got themselves in 3rd and 4th place, 26 seconds behind Jace Douglas. So great bit of work there. We'll have WKMP finishing 2nd, 3rd and 4th. So they'll most likely cross the line together, being that they do the team thing most nights.
So Jamie Davis, when does he come in? Does he try and undercut Jace now? Or do you reckon he's going to try and go just as long? Because we know that we know both Jace and Jamie. They have been a bit hot-headed at times in the sim. Will has always often been quite cool, calm, and collected. So is it maybe more likely that Will comes in earlier and lets these two tangle a bit more?
Yeah. Look, I'd come in. Definitely, I'd come in. That'd be my strategy. I'd go next lap, go bang. He's got now 20 minutes to go, 19 minutes to go.
Mole and Stone Street are in as well. So where do they come out in comparison to Mueller? They should still be behind him. Are they going to get Dodds? That's the question now. Are they going to get him? Because he's dropped a lot to Mueller. But they're still not even in the pit box yet. And Doddsy's, well, actually past where Ryan was when Doddsy boxed. So, oh, this... I have a feeling that they've gone a bit... Yeah, they've gone a bit longer. I don't know.
They haven't dropped yet.
No, they haven't. They're still there. They're going to get him. They're going to get them. Both drivers are going to get past Mole and Stone Street on exit.
Here we go.
It's a long... It was a long stop for them. They've lost out.
20 and 19.
Yep. So maybe, as Ryan maybe put in less to not only jump Dodds, but just try and fuel save to get it home. Is that now the thought process? Because they're 3.4 seconds back, but Mueller has come out provisional P3, but he's taken, you know, probably a lap's less worth of fuel.
We'll be interested to see if they'll make it right through.
Cowan, Dooley and Mulford are in as well. Douglas and Davis continue to battle. Bit of a scrape of the wall from Davis at the top of the hill. We've knocked over the hour with under 20 minutes to go until the checkered flag flies. Is James Scott's race to lose at this stage with 11.5 seconds back to Blake Warboys. It's a further minute back to Jace Douglas, but he does need a pit stop. So that will even out. As does Warboys, as does Scott. So we'll see what the real gap is between Mueller and Warboys when we get to the end of the pit stop cycle of this race. But at this stage, James Scott stayed out, as is Blake Warboys. We'll see if Douglas, Davis and Brown do the same.
We've got probably another... They've been at the 15 lap mark, so they can probably get another lap or so out of it. Or will they go in this one? Tell you what, if I was Jamie, I'd be going in this one.
No, he stayed.
No.
Late dive in
Brown,
from Brown. That was smart.
Yeah, Brown's got a good move there.
He darted in.
To see if they're going to pit, they're going to pit. I'll stay in, I'll stay out. And he just chose in.
Yep, he darted straight in.
Each other like crazy.
Yep, that was a smart play from Will Brown.
Yep.
So we'll see now if the undercut strategy can work for the Phoenix Racing Team driver. And where he comes out. Is he going to come out ahead of... Oh, no, Lawford has to come in. So Lawford's into pit lane. Will Brown should come out ahead of Mick Clifton, who's nowhere near pit entry just yet. McManus is in. There's Clifton there, but he's not going to get past Brown. Brown is very, very likely going to be coming out very soon, as he is now, with a 15.98 second stop. So that's a short stop for Will Brown. He has been fuel saving, but I would say he's taken that short stop to get track position ahead of Jace Douglas and Jamie Davis. I guarantee you that is his plan right now, because Jace is pushing hard, and in fact, Jamie Davis has actually dropped off the back of him as James Scott comes in. So, I know what Jamie's doing. He's holding up Ryan. He's playing the team. There's the team game you asked for, Sinker. He's holding up Ryan Mueller.
Yep.
So not against the rules. He is well within his rights to hold up Ryan Mueller to get his teammate onto the back of him. He knows that he's not going to get past Jace at this stage, and they could be on for a podium. Ryan comes past at the inside, but has the damage been done? Because Jamie is now going to be able to give Harry a toe.
Or was Jamie worried about making it back to the pits?
Oh, maybe. He had a 29.
I think so, because he moved aside very quickly.
He had a 29.5 second stop, so it's not like he should be out of fuel just yet, but it has definitely spiced it up. Warboys is also in, coming straight back out. Doddsy gets past his teammate. It has significantly, though, helped Dodds chase down Ryan Mueller. That has helped him chase him down. Like, it gained him a second.
Jace Douglas is in.
Yeah, so is Davis.
See how that switch goes.
So Davis is in too. So here is Will Brown. Where does he end up in comparison? He's got to be at the chase by the time Jace Douglas gets into the box. And he is.
Jace
So,
is in the box, yeah.
all right, so Will Brown, unless Jace underfills, Will Brown's going to get him.
All right, both him and Jamie are on the blocks now.
Here comes Will.
Will he get both of them?
Unless this is a 16-second stop for Jason Douglas, Will Brown is going to get him by the exit of turn 1. It's not a 15. It's a 16.8, but Will's got him.
Douglas is out.
Yep.
Davis is out.
Will got him. He got both of them. That's smart play
Nice.
from Will Brown. That was a phenomenal effort there from Will Brown. But for Ryan Mueller, he's now got Dodds 1.5 seconds on his heels further up in the field in the battle for P3 at this stage of the race as they come around towards Skyline. There's the gap between them in the battle for the final podium position. There are 13 minutes on the clock for Dodds to get him. But that is going to be such a tough task. Not only to get back up to the back of Ryan Mueller's car, but to get back past him. Mueller is one of the hardest drivers to get your car past at any circuit in the world. He makes that car as wide as possible.
We've got a couple of teams still battling around. We've got Cowan's got Pavlovic, McManus and Dooley down the back end of the field hunting each other now. Cowan has just been passed by Peter Pav actually. So Pav has dispatched him as he goes across. Oh, they're swapping. They are swapping. I'm going to go to that bottom here.
So everyone is now petered out a little bit through this pit stop period with 12 minutes to go. Dying embers of this race meeting for the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship. Closest
What a
cars.
battle down the bottom of the field. You'd think these guys are racing for the title. They are so close. Have a look at this. Oh, viewers, this is the fight for 17th, 18th, 15th position. This is crazy how close they're finding. They're having a blast. I bet you they're giggling and having a bit of a laugh as they go through here.
I'm sure they are.
Yeah.
I'm sure they have got the biggest smiles on their dials at this stage. Billy Mole's still tucked in behind his teammate Troy Stone Street as well, trying to chase down Dodds, who's not really making any inroads up to the back of Ryan Mueller's car at this stage. 1.3 seconds.
No, at the moment Mueller's lapping him by about last lap is 2 seconds faster than Harry. So it's interesting to see how we can go.
As Pav is under pressure from Alex McManus on the bottom screen. So the team play, you asked for team play, Sinker. Guess what? You're getting it for P15 on the road.
Yep. Oh, look at this bottom screen. Coming to the final corner. Cowie's on the inside line. Oh, I think they've only gone too wide back there.
McManus is right there.
This is crazy. Pav's got him, then Cowie's got him, then Pav's got him. Oh, the poor Pelican's surrounded by this team. Look at them. They're all the way around him. It's like rollerball derby.
McManus parked the car then right on the inside of Pav, so he could not go for the switchback. So that they are playing the team game right now to absolute perfection, attack and defend as best they can. As Jamie Davis has been off track, he's back on again. Oh, it's another scenario of running
He's just
off
gone
the
for the
circuit.
stampede a little bit.
Up at the top. He's run it wide at McPhillamy Park. So as he came across to start the downhill run, just ran it a little bit too wide and straight into the sand pit. So very lucky not to hit the wall.
All right, so the boys are now in the Cowie's ear. I don't know who was talking though. Cowie got enough fuel on that thing to get it home.
It's probably Tyson. It's probably Tyson, to be honest with you. So.
No. It's the drivers. Tyson's in RC. Yeah. But they're so close, those boys. I tell you what, McManus and Troy Dooley are on the back of Peter Pav as well. Great little fight in there. Great stuff, boys.
And this battle has been going on now for quite a few laps of this race, kind of just lurking in the shadows.
9 minutes to go.
9 to go. There's not long left on the clock. James Scott sets just a 206.79 in the race for the fastest lap, just regular Sunday.
Yeah, we haven't given him much airtime at all, have we?
Yeah, but that's normally what comes when you lead by 11 seconds. It's normally the going
got
rate.
one of those big Croatian noses, Banksy.
Oh, but the attack now from McManus onto Pavlovic has allowed Cowan just to run away a little bit more as McManus wants it up the inside of Pav at the final corner. He's going to have to try and get a run down towards turn 1 if he can. Pav is still defending. Yeah.
Great bit of driving by this group. They've been up and around each other all night and loving it. Absolutely loving it. Looks like Dodgy is making his way closer to Ryan, but not close enough to make any effect. He's 1.53 seconds at the moment. Stone Street and Mole just lapping it regularly. They all ran around about the same sort of time frames at the moment. Two front boys are doing 207s, then everyone else is doing 208s.
Oh, McManus, big dive at the inside at the cutting. Couldn't quite get there on Pav. Oh, I tell you what, Pav is in the pressure cooker at the moment. He is feeling the pressure from the PSR crew.
These PSR boys are on the same Discord talking it up, and this little boy in the middle is just getting thrown around by these boys. I'll get him on the inside. No, you take him on the outside. I'll back him up. No, you back him up.
There needs to be some straightforward team play, surely. Just figure out the plan, figure out the strategy, and get the job done.
Oh, yeah, definitely. You know, Cowie, back him up a little bit, get the boys side by side, and let the boys pass.
Yeah, isn't it funny? Cowie finally got past him, and then it's like, I'll see you boys. Have fun.
Yeah, it's like, let the boys alone.
He's just like, oh, it's all right, boys. I got past. It's fine. You can get it.
Yeah, you guys sort yourselves out.
Yeah,
like right now, if he was there, he could get right behind him, get one of the boys side by side, just slow it down that little bit so the boy can get the run off and then take off again. And then you got another one past. It's quite a simple strategy. It's legal. There's nothing illegal about it. As long as you're not moving under brakes.
As long as he's not blocking by, doing more than 2 moves down the straight or
100%.
Or,
yeah.
there's even other ways to do it as well, Sinky. You mentioned it. Just park it right in front of him. You can break mid-apex of a corner, and that will slow him. It'll bog him mid-corner. It's not against the rules.
Even just let go of the throttle a little bit, There's nothing wrong with that.
It's all
Sorry,
racing
I was
strategy.
fuel saving.
Yeah, I was fuel. You've definitely used that one before.
I've had it done to me, mate.
Yeah.
I've had it done to me by the crisscross boys in the early days when my pace was comparable because we weren't all that fast.
I was going to say, is that because they weren't fast yet?
Yeah, they weren't fast yet. They all progressed and I just stayed still. Yeah. The only reason I progress is like being in primary school. I'll just lift him up, just let him go.
It took you 6 months to get the pen license. I just give it to him at this point.
Compulsory grade league.
Yeah.
See, Cowie has slowed down. Maybe he was listening to us.
Maybe
Pav's on the back of him now.
Maybe the boys were listening to us and they've worded him up. They play some defensive manner. Just back him up for us.
Yeah. Oh, Peter Pav's going for it. Pav's like, he's probably listening as well. He's going, I'm not getting sucked into this thing.
And
I'm getting right up in there.
The thing to remember now is as well, Sinker, if we get a crash that would
he's
cause...
in the wall! He looks like McManus!
That was Dooley!
Oh, Dooley! Oh, he slapped that wall nicely. Oh, that's one down.
I was about to say as well, at this point of the race, if we get a crash that would cause a safety car, we're likely not going to see the safety car because we're within 5 minutes to the end. But Cowie is trying to push back Peter Pavlovic.
Oh,
if he can, and he's knocked him off the road!
Oh, I don't know if he got tapped or not, but that was a beautiful bit of run. And now Peter Pav's dispatched the whole team.
That almost looked like he drove straight through him, if I'm honest. That really did. Looked like he drove straight through him.
No, Cowie lost the rear end then. As he was coming in under brakes.
Hang on, he clipped the wall.
Did he get a tap as well?
I think he did.
Well, see, I reckon there Cowie's lost control of it, and then where's Peter Pav going to go? It's one of those. It could be one of those situations, just a racing incident.
Let's have a look here. So
yeah, Cowie's called it in. But see, Cowie's lost it here, and the pace difference. We'll see.
Oh, no, he clipped the wall, but I don't know if there was contact or not.
Yeah, I don't know. It was hard to tell from our angle, but Cowie did pinch the brakes as he was coming into that corner. And now he's being dispatched again by Mr. James Scott, who's passing him. And we have got 3.5 minutes left to go. Banksy, play on. I'm surprised Banksy said that. It could go either way, I don't know. We'll see what the boys down say there.
Yeah,
but
we'll
it does
see.
look like how he pinched the brakes and slowed down a fair bit. So we'll see what the boys say.
Tell you what, you'd hate to be Tyson McAvoy because he's going to have to foot the bill now for 2 broken cars.
Two broken cars in a matter of 1 lap.
Yep, in a matter of 1 lap. So yeah, we'll see. We'll see what race control say.
Yeah,
They'll break it down. They'll make a determination at some point.
Where is Mr. Warboys now? We've got, what do we got? We'll have 1 more lap, I think, out of these.
Oh, it depends when James crosses the line. Yeah, maybe 1 more. He might actually be slowing up to make it sure it's only 1 more. he might just, I've got 11 seconds. Let's just lift off down the straight, give up 5 seconds, and then I can cross the line and start again.
Just let the exhaust splutter a bit.
Yeah.
Well, he's got these guys in front of him, so he doesn't want to get involved in them too. Who is that in front of him?
That's Pavlovic and McManus.
Okay.
Still in their battle as well.
They're doing their thing. McManus is on the back of him. Oh, see, there was no further action in that. There was a bit of net code as well. So no further action. That was Cowie. His number is 991 and 216. Yeah, that's it. Yep. Alrighty, here comes. Is Barney out?
It should be 1 more. Yeah, this is the last lap. Last lap of the race.
There's
Barney's
Barney,
out.
There's the last lap. Oh, careful, James. These guys are liable to do anything. Surely you're not going to race him.
Surely not. Surely not.
Back it off, will ya? Just to make my heart work a bit better. That's it. That's it. I'll go to Blake Warboys in the second camera. We've got our two legends on cam for the first and second. Then Ryan Mueller's coming across third because he has got. Well, he actually has Harry Dodds finally caught up to him. Harry's just around a second behind him, but I think it's all a lot of work a little bit too late.
So for James Scott, it has been.
Mueller, he should be good looking at the rear bump. Oh, dearie me. He definitely knows who your sponsors are.
Oh, for sure.
Oh, he raced there.
Oh, yeah, true. He did. He should know how to spell his name because he was his teammate.
Yeah.
So for James Scott, it has been a dominant performance. Pole position in the qualifying, pole position from the top 10 shootout. Has led every single lap of this race aside from when he pit earlier than others. And now, actually no, he still led the race. He never actually lost the lead even when he pit. He always came out in the lead. So in what has been pure dominance from one of the fastest drivers in the field, maybe helped by the fact that Warboys was held up in the first few laps. That gave him the initial buffer that he could then build on. He'll run down towards the final corner for the final time this evening after 80 minutes and change. James Scott and the Chiefs will take the win here tonight for the Bathurst Enduro of the Warren Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship. 12 3/4 seconds back. Blake Warboys in behind. Troy Dooley, who's just blown the engine. Blake Warboys will come home in P2. I don't know how you last the whole race and then blow the engine, Troy. That's a fair effort. And then Ryan Mueller, who's been in the wars all day with Harry Dodds, Billy Mole and Troy Stonestreet, and battling with them all the way through strategy and pit calls, will come down towards the line in the Lake Edge Majors Garage entry for Pacific Esports Racing. And he will take home the final podium position of the night with Doddsy in P4. Stonestreet looks to come home in P5 for a photo finish with his teammate Billy Mole in P6. Anthony Visma for Accelerate Sim Racing looks to come home in P7 on the road. Will Brown didn't gain or lose any positions in the end. He'll come home in P8 with Jace Douglas in P9. Jamie Davis up 1 inside the top 10.
What a race, mate. What a race. Oh, that was fantastic. Who the hell are you, Terry Taylor?
He normally comes around, Cinco. Let's just ban him again.
It's boring, don't come and watch it, mate. These guys did a spectacular job and loving every minute of it. It's great to see them come out and battling with a fantastic field of very fast drivers. If you weren't entertained tonight, you'll never be entertained. These boys put on a spectacular show. And James Scott, the last few laps, hit a 2:06.792 to the fastest lap for the night. Alrighty. What do you got to say for yourself, Hamish? That was spectacular all the way through from top to finish, with a lot of fun to be had.
I think, it was a quality race in the end. The shootout, one of the better shootouts we've had, where the majority of the field managed to get themselves into a positive position, and only one driver made a mistake in the shootout to not set a lap time. So that's probably actually one of the only times we've had a shootout where 95% of the 10 have actually managed to set a time, which is great to see. It means they're improving under the pressure of the shootout.
What can I say? My brain is cooked.
Hey, Sinker, you've got the SRW account open, don't you?
Yes, I do.
You just want to hand out that ban to Terry, because I don't have access to the account.
Yeah.
If you don't want to watch, don't show up. That's the mantra. We're here to entertain those who would like to be entertained. If you don't find that, we're sorry, but that's your call.
Don't even waste your breath, mate.
Yeah.
Don't even waste your breath. Anyway, everyone else has had a bit of a ball tonight. Please, if you're out there and you love what we do, like and subscribe. We are 54 away from 1,500 subscribers. It'd be great to hit them this season. It would be sensational. And also hit that little notification so you know when we're up racing and having a bit of fun. Not that you don't know. We smash the posts a fair bit, so we do keep you guys all on the boil of what's going on and what's happening. As for like next week, lots of action as usual. But tonight, what a race! What a spectacular set of driving out there. War Boys keeping a hold on the championship, Hamish, and James Scott working his way up towards the pointy end of it.
Yeah, he's we mentioned that Blake only needs P2s now. He doesn't need wins, and he's done everything he needs to do tonight. So with only I think it's 6 rounds to go or 5 rounds to go of this season, he doesn't have to do very much. He just has to keep on showing up, running consistent racing, and he should find himself with a second Sunday night series in a row for SRW here. We'll start, though, our podium conversations here this evening with our third place driver of Pacific Esports Racing, who found himself in the wars all night with Harry Dodds, Billy Mole and Troy Stone Street. It's Ryan Mueller. Ryan, an incredible battle to the end there with yourself and Harry, where strategy call of coming in early and undercutting him paid off to absolute perfection. Did you underfuel the car on that last stop to get a bit of track position, or was that thanks to your fuel saving earlier in the race?
I just put enough in every stop, just a bit over. I didn't underfuel it at all, but yeah, it was a pretty good race. Very long race too.
Hey, mate, how was it dealing with the pressure from Dodds and from Billy at times as well, but also the pressure that you were putting on yourself to try and get past Doddsy at times when he was, as we would normally call it, a cork in the bottle, as Steve called it tonight, a spout on the goon bag. What was that pressure like, dealing with from those different angles of being attacked, being defended against, but also trying to attack yourself?
Yeah, it was good. I I felt pretty good. I was more focused on Doddsy than I was Billy. I like probably looked in the mirror like once or twice. I was just focused on getting past Doddsy, but Doddsy was putting up a good fight, so I just thought I'd stay there and just keep being consistent and stay with him and see how the fuels roll out.
Now, of course, it's been becoming a family affair for you on Sundays. Your grandma Lee's been watching along. Your dad Adam's also watching along as well. What does that give you any added pressure or any added push to try and get these podiums or even race wins when they're on opportunity, or is it you're just as confident or just as driven as ever to get those things?
I'm used to all them watching. I used to race go-karts over Australia for nationals and all that, so I'm used to all that sort of things. But it was good that Dad watched tonight because he told me that Billy underfield and all that, so that came in handy.
I love his work. It's good when family gets behind you, mate. It just makes it a little bit more special, doesn't it?
Yeah, it's always good to see them in there.
Yeah, excellent, mate. Well, you sound a bit pooped, mate. Was it a tough race?
Oh, it's just really long. At the start, it was very interesting. It was good to have me, Doddsy, Warboys, I think Stone Street and Billy were just behind, and Visma too. It was good to have that pack at the start. That was certainly good fun. That was the best part of the race, in my opinion. But yeah, it was just a really long race. It always is at Bathurst.
It is, mate. Well, good luck, dude. I hope the rest of the season keeps going. We've still got another. What are we at, Hamish? I've lost count.
We're around 10 at the moment. I think we lost a week though due to postponing this one, so it should be 15 rounds. So 5 to go.
15 rounds, yeah. So 5 to go for this series. So a bit of way to go to get some major points, mate. Who gets Mr. Mueller out on track and supports you and sponsors the team?
Thanks, guys. I'd like to thank you guys for putting on a show, as always. Everyone at SRW for making these good race meetings. Everyone at PER, Lake Edge Holiday Units, Majors Garage for the awesome setups as usual. One Shot Pest Management, Track Racer, 8 Rivers Photography, and our partner W Energy Drinks, and all the family members that tune in and talk all the time in the chat.
Very good, Ryan.
Excellent, mate.
Best of luck next time out on track with us here. Let me just quickly double check where we're at next and when we're racing next. Next week at Mosport for a sprint round. So best of luck next week for the 20 and 40 race at Mosport. We'll see how you do out at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park.
Cheers, boys.
Thank you.
Take care, mate.
Next up on the docket, we've got our favourite dad in the field. I say that as a blanket term, of course. We show no favourites, but he's the one that talks to us the most. It is, of course, Blake Warboys. Let's have a quick chat to him now.
It's not Blake Warboys.
It's Daddy Warboys.
Daddy
Sorry.
Warboys. How are you, buddy? How's the bub?
Yeah, not too bad. The girls are down in Melbourne for a hens party, so I've been batching it up for the weekend.
That means the dishwasher's full of dishes, the sink's full of dishes, there's chip packets everywhere, takeaway everywhere.
No, I've done the dishes, I've done the washing. I've been out
My
in the
wife
garage.
just piped up. She says, "No, that's just you."
And I was able to sort of go out in the garage, clean the cart up after racing in the rain last weekend, and
Well, I heard you had a
back
good
together.
weekend last weekend. You pulled home a what is it, a C7 Narrow?
Yeah, but I won a lucky draw, and got the brand new X7 Arrow. Somehow.
You gonna race it or palm it off?
I'll probably palm it off. Like, we've got the Croc promotions, and I'm like, I
Yeah,
guess you could sort of say one of the team drivers for the karts.
Yeah,
Yeah, it's cool to win. It'd be nice to, like, sort of back-to-back test them, actually having one, see what the difference are, but being able to get a bit more money in the pocket at the moment sounds pretty good.
Well, you know what? You're in a position at the moment to win some Warren and Brown tools, so that'll be some cool stuff that'll go in the garage as well.
The toolbox does need filling, so
yeah, there you go, there you go. And it was a long race. Yourself and James gapped it out. I think once Doddsy got in the way at the beginning of the race, it sort of split the times a bit, and then it was just cruise control. I think you just got to finish second for the rest of the season to win the title.
yeah. Jack Andrews wasn't here, so
Yep.
yeah, I don't know how that'll affect the points. Like he was within 18, I think it was. So I don't know how that'll affect it if he's had to use a drop round or not. And
Yep.
then yeah, third was like 78 or something behind. So
Yep.
if I can just keep plucking seconds, yeah, try and bridge that gap to James if I can.
Yep.
I think we've closed a little bit. Like yeah, race pace wise, qualifying we're still scratching our heads a little bit as to what the cars need for a qualifying run.
Yeah.
But
do
Troy's
you
been
want me to
doing the
request
setups.
telemetry?
I'd probably look at telemetry and go backwards. In all honesty, those squiggly lines make me so confused.
Yeah, me too. Me too. The boys show me the telemetry when we're comparing stuff, and I'm like, huh?
I look at telemetry.
Yeah.
I look at telemetry for the go-kart, and like all I'm reading is like my lambda values and that's good enough for me to sort of try and get forwards. The rest of it sort of not exactly sure what I'm looking at, but
Excellent, mate. Well, mate, great drive tonight. Title is still there with one hand on it. Congratulations. Looks like you'll probably get a good night's sleep tonight. No bub, no wife to keep you awake. Actually, you'll probably stay awake thinking, where's the noise and why isn't someone waking me up for a feed?
The first night I was very weird. So yeah.
Yeah, running around. Why is this house so silent? Yeah, I know the feeling. Mate, who gets you out on track and supports Mr. Warboys and the family and everyone?
So WKMP Sim Sports for all the support. Troy, he's been on a ripping job with the setups, and Billy for helping him, of course. I haven't had much time to do them. Wodonga Carts and Parts, Crop Promotion Carts Australia, Stone Street Plumbing, Super Cheap Auto, and the Super Cheap group of companies, Pool Guys Adelaide, Barella Cabinets, LGC Images, Dave 37 Racing, Warboys Motorsports, Send It Don't Bend It, Amp Air, M1 Cars, and Pecky's Performance, and Dyno Tune.
Excellent, mate. Well, congratulations. Well done. Killer race out there as usual. And good luck for the remainder of the season. I think we've got 5 rounds left.
6 rounds. I forgot that when we pushed this one forward, the others went forward as well. So it's still 16. So yeah.
Excellent. All right. Fantastic stuff, mate. Well, good luck, mate, and see you next week.
Yeah. Thanks, guys. See ya.
Thanks.
Cheers, buddy.
Next up on the ticket, we've got P1 on the road by about a suburb's worth of space. He drove to victory by driving through Orange tonight, not through Bathurst. It was James Scott. James, an incredible effort for you. It's a race win on the board once again at Bathurst, and for yourself and the Chiefs after a dominant performance in qualifying and then into the shootout as well. You put it perfect by leading, I think it was every lap of that race. I don't think you ever actually dropped out of the lead at any stage, so perfect round for you. It's a grand slam here at Bathurst.
Yeah, no, it was a good night. Yeah, pretty long race, but I don't know. I think this was the same distance as the one we ran on Tuesday a few weeks ago. I definitely felt a lot fresher after this one than Tuesday, that Tuesday one. But yeah, that was good fun.
There's a car. It looks like your car's fully settled now, and you've become one with it.
Well, I don't know. It's very hard, this car. You know, you make some changes and it feels different, but it's very hard to know if it's actually faster or not. It's a bit of my story tonight, really. I ran very different setup to what I ran here on the Tuesday night race a few weeks ago, which was pretty much the last time I drove around here, other than like just before practice today. So yeah, no real preparation or anything like that. And I don't know. I'll have to go back and have a look and see what times I was doing. Hopefully it was similar-ish weather on the Tuesday night race and see if I was faster or not. But yeah, it felt easy to drive. I'm just not sure about speed.
Well, you hit a 206.792 in the race itself, so that was pretty cracking. I can't remember what sort of speed you were at the Tuesday night heat, but no doubt it's probably somewhere around there. Do you feel sometimes the setup tweak takes you backwards a bit, then you got to find your way forwards again?
Sometimes I feel like, I go down, change whatever it is, and head down that path and think, maybe a little bit more of something else might make this change better than what I had originally. Yeah, sometimes I go backwards a little bit, but part of the game, really.
It is. They do it in real world, mate. It happens on these tracks as well. So it's all part of trying to get that car consistent across tracks. Unfortunately, it's not like V8 supercars where we drive the same tracks every year. We keep changing them up. So your setups, it's not like you can prepare your season to past setups that much, is it?
No, absolutely. We run. That's what part of the cool thing is about iRacing, and this series running a lot of different tracks, European, America, whatever it might be, and obviously the ones in Australia, it's pretty cool. But yeah, you can't really, have a good setup from last season. A few of the tracks might cross over, but there won't be all that many. But yeah, just trying to tune out the understeer at the moment. So we'll see how we go.
Oh, great stuff, mate. Well, another fantastic performance out there, mate. We've got 6 rounds left. There's definitely a podium in there, or there's definitely a championship fighting for, that's for sure. Who gets you on track, mate, and who supports you in the Chiefs?
Obviously thanks to Aussie Broadband, Westfield, Logitech G. Those guys are really awesome, and great to have them on the car. All the guys at the Chiefs, back running the team, both iRacing and the other esport leagues that they run. The guys working on the setup, obviously wasn't much setup work for tonight, but in general we're constantly tuning the car and trying to make it better. So thanks to all those guys. You guys for the broadcast each and every week, that's awesome. Race control, we had a pretty chilled night, so that's good. And yeah, obviously just guys that put it on, like the series admin and all that sort of stuff as well. Thanks to those guys.
Thank you very much, mate. Well, good luck for the rest of the season. 6 to go, and good luck with your Logie and Scops rounds, mate. And we'll see you on Tuesday night.
Thanks, mate.
All right, take care, brother. Well, Hamish, an absolute pearler. We've been here since 6:30. We've got 54 subscribers left to 1,500. So please like and subscribe, viewers. Please support our sponsors like they support us. Hamish will go through the list, mate. We have got a spectacular double header on Tuesday night with the split 1 and 2 of the V8 Supercars on Tuesday night. Wednesday night, the Super Formula Lights. Thursday night, the GR86s. And then we're back here on Sunday for some more action.
Yeah, we've got a big week of racing coming up for round 2 of the weekly series. For round 2 of season 2, the weekly series for the weekdays. Winton Motor Raceway on Tuesday for the Supercars action of Split 2 and Split 1. I'm very excited. I love Winton, one of my favourite circuits. One of my favourite to drive and race and even watch action there as well. It's got some little nuances about it that I really, really love. So I'm super excited about that. Yourself and JP back in the booth Wednesday night, Sinker, for the Moser Racing Super Formula Lights Championship at Fuji Speedway. Thursday's Toyota GR86 race will not be broadcasted live. It'll be done on Friday night with JP and Sinker for round 2 at Cadwell Park. Because James is unfortunately not available on the Thursday, and I'm not available to cover him either. And we determined because we could do it on the Friday night that James would just do it still on Friday. Otherwise, me and Sinker were going to have to do it on the Saturday afternoon, and it was just going to be a bit harder to work out. So Friday night, 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. It's the same time that it would be on Thursday, just on Friday. So you can come watch the GR86 action from the Toyota GR86 Nationals. And then Sunday night, we're back to regular time slot of 7:50 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time for the Warren & Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship out at Canadian Tire Motorsport Park for round 11 of the first season of 2025 of the V8 Supercars Championship as well. I'd love for us to hit 1,500 subscribers by the end of Season 2. I think it's one of the goals for SRW is to get to that number. If we can get there, it'd be absolutely fantastic. We're only 50 odd away, so get your friends and family involved. Come watching some racing. Come get them to come watch your races if you're involved in SRW. Your friends' races, your cousins, your family, whatever it might be. Whoever's racing that you're supporting, get your friends and family involved in coming and watching SRW as well for 4 nights a week of sim racing action. A big shout out has to go to our series sponsors, of course, for the Sunday Night Fiat Supercars Championship, the Tuesday Night Fiat Supercars Series, Warren & Brown Tools, who are putting up a heap of prizes on offer for the Sunday Open Supercars Championship, and as well continuing their partnership with SRW by supporting the Tuesday Night Series as well to Moser Racing, who began their partnership with SRW in 2025. for continuing their support with the Super Formula Lights Championship on Wednesday night, as well for the Australian Open Wheel Nationals, which happens at the end of the season as well. They're also the title sponsor of that series. We're still looking for a sponsor for the Toyota GR86s, so if you're interested, you're out there and you're a sponsor and you want to get involved, contact Stephen at simracingworld@admin.com.au. Is that right, Stephen?
Admin at simracingworld.com.au.
Okay, it was the other way around. A big shout out though to all our other series sponsors too, who help us keep the lights on and the doors open. Shunt Scenery, as well as Grim Industries, home of the V8 coffee table, which can be found at Prime Video's Top Gear Australia during the news, interviews and other studio segments, and as well to Phoenix Driver Development. Be sure to message PDD on Facebook or Laz and Rehan Leonage on Discord if you're after some Supercars training sessions or some Supercars setups. From the 2009 Ford Falcon up to the Gen 3 Supercar, they have setups available for every version of the Supercar and for whatever you need, and they'll tailor it to your needs as well. Direct links to all of our sponsors in the live stream description of all of our streams. You can find them all down there in the video description, so be sure to follow them along. But I'm Hamish Munro with Steve Sinkovic alongside once again for round 10 of the Wine and Brown Tools V8 Supercars Championship Season 1 of 2025. See you guys next week for Canadian Tire Motorsport Park. But until then, stay safe, drive hard, and as always, bye for now.
Almost the same situation. Better contact going down the hill. Sam Noble wants to sniff on Dave Coleman now. Sam Noble bottle right now because